You don't understand. Like every time this woman grabs someone's arm, and he's like, "That's a disarmer." I'm like, if you look at my Twitter, I am yelling on Twitter. I'm like, "That's not the disarmer." Like what?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes. Guess I'll go fuck
should.
myself then, guys.
Yeah, you absolutely should. Yeah, you definitely should go fuck yourself.
You got a lot to say about this situation between two of the four horsewomen. What was your thoughts on the segment and the fallout with the reports that have come out today?
Floor is yours.
When you work and work yourself into a shoot, Marks.
What the fuck is that? Yo, so when you do a work, but you work into a shoot.
Yes.
Yo,
I think this came up.
But a guy who got brain surgery returned to the ring for the first time ever in Kazutori Shibata. Shibata returned in a 5-minute exhibition. UW. Love that. Love it.
Why it gotta be right in front of me? Why is this shit gotta be right in front of me for?
Red Shoes had his red mask on. Look, I'm Red Shoes. Look, I'm Red Shoes.
There you go. The Red Shoes, Romeo.
My fucking Bluetooth connection, my speaker got connected. That kicked me off stream. My audio went kaput. My screen is flickering back and forth right now. My shit is cursed. Curse me.
Shibata don't like you. He don't like all that smoke.
For Shibata to come back to wrestling, it had to be a soul for a soul.
So first, this stupid fucking thing next to me.
That was a good time on True Hill Heat 148. We are here live on a Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time for True Hill Heat 149, an honorable death. We're going to be talking about ROH's big news of the week, releasing all their talent ahead of a hiatus. We got our third fantasy wrestling draft with all ROH all-timers as well as current roster. It's going to be a good time just ahead. So producer, hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for True Hill Heat 149 and Honorable Death. We're going to be talking about the latest wrestling news as well as holding our third fantasy wrestling draft. ROH releases all their talent ahead of a hiatus and rebrand and what that means for their future. We're talking about the latest on Charlotte Flair's backstage heat following that debacle of a title exchange last week. The fallout from Impact Bound for Glory with two new world champions, recap of the week in wrestling, plus a preview and predictions for New Japan Pro Wrestling Power Struggle 2021, plus more. I am here with not the regular cast of characters. Top Guy JJ's got the week off. Miss Krssi Luv is fashionably late because she's my tag team partner, and as you guys know, except for the person I'm about to introduce, whenever I have a tag team partner on these fantasy wrestling drafts, they usually show up late. It's like Sting and Ric Flair at Halloween Havoc 1995. But first of all, we have an ROH expert, the man that covers it every single week on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel on Fusion of Honor. You know him from Blunt Impact. You know him from Joints and Jabronis. You know him from NX3. He's the three-time baby making champion. This is Ness.
True Hills, what's the deal? Glad to be here this lovely Saturday. Hopefully this draft will go much better than the last one that I was a part of, which was a lot of fun. Again, shout out to Nick, shout out to Chris. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, something near and dear to my heart in Ring of Honor. So I'm glad that this episode is pretty much contributed to them.
Yes, it's a tribute to Ring of Honor because we're a bunch of Ring of Honor diehards from their golden era. So we had to bring in some other diehards from their golden era. And one of my favorite podcasts around, you know them from Dirt Sheet Radio. First up, you've seen them before right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel on True Hill Heat, our flagship podcast. One of the most knowledgeable guys in the game today, Jonathan Escudero.
What's up, guys? Wow, I was gonna use my usual intro, but I don't know how much cursing you guys are allowed.
Oh, this is True Hill Heat. Come on, man. You've been here before. Go ahead, curse away.
What the fuck is up? I'm excited.
It is great to have you. You wake up a little bit earlier than us, so we always appreciate people that do that for us on a Saturday. And you are with your tag team partner because this is fantasy wrestling draft time. So Dirt Sheet Radio had to be represented by not just John. He's bringing along another knowledgeable gentleman just joining the crew this year in January. Our producer calls him a young Tony Schiavone, and he's been called a Dalton Castle lookalike as well. So he's a man of many different faces, Nick LaRocco.
It's Sting! What is up, everyone? I'm Nick LaRocco. If any of you have ever watched CZW in 3D, I apologize for the scars on your forehead.
That is a way to introduce yourself. I love it. Thank you guys for joining us for our third fantasy wrestling draft. True Hill Heat is 0-2, so I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm without my tag team partner right now because Ness is the judge this time. He's not my tag team partner, so I'm trying to see if I can win one with Krssi Luv. You know, got the woman appeal with her, so I'm waiting on her. Hopefully she's there for me to tag her when I'm getting beat down by YouTube fellas. But yes, this edition of True Hill Heat is brought to you by our friends over at Warrior Wrestling and Powered 4 TV, as well as, of course, if you want to become a even bigger supporter of the True Hill Heat brand, go over to patreon.com/True Hill Heat, become a $3 backer for exclusive True Hill Heat content, including the True Hill Heat 149 post show that will be up later today. But John, Nick, I know, John, we've had you on before. You explained Dirt Sheet Radio to us, but for anyone new to the channel that hasn't seen you on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast before, please explain what you guys do over at Dirt Sheet Radio.
Yeah, Dirt Sheet Radio is just a pro wrestling podcast where I bring together my boys, Nick and Greg, and we talk shit about wrestling. The latest, probably the last 7 days in wrestling. Really, we try to keep it weekly, but it's good times every week. We're very casual about it. We're very what's the word? Candor. We got a lot of we're very candid about what the.
We definitely stay on topic quite a bit.
Not at all.
Most definitely, we do. I don't know what you're talking about, John.
Yeah. You see, this is Dirt Sheet Radio every week. A constant argument about professional wrestling. It's the greatest thing you've ever heard.
I love it, and I love you guys. You guys are doing great stuff in the professional wrestling media game with your podcast, and we love everyone who joins us live for True Hill Heat. Keep those comments going in the live chat. Some of our favorites are already here. We got the Negro Buck Nick Jackson. We got EBB, Fifth Generation Carney, Anthony Manzano. We also, so of course, if you want your comment highlighted, your question to be heard or answered by anyone on screen, a super chat donation is greatly appreciated. $1 or more helps out the channel a lot, and it makes sure your comment is highlighted on screen. And look, I didn't even have to wait till the bell rang for the match. My tag team partner has arrived. The beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Luv.
Fashionably late. Sorry, guys. Hello. Good morning. How are you guys? Happy to be here. Russia was trying to take over my Wi-Fi, so had to fix that.
Russia and North Korea does that from time to time, so we appreciate you showing up. You didn't even wait till the bell rang and I was reaching for the tag and no one's there. You came before the match started, so I always appreciate that.
No need for the hot tag here.
No.
But as always, we love our supporters of the True Hill Heat brand. So we got to shout out our roll call for all the supporters on YouTube, Facebook, and all social media. Our top 3 conversation starters on the True Hills group page. Coming in at number 3, Dennis Smith. Coming in at number 2, Jessica V. And of course, number 1, as per usual, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. A couple of True Hills we got to shout out. You, my boy Blue, All Sizzle, Sammy Joe, CM Chris, EBB, who's already in the chat with us, as well as Chase Oliver, our YouTube subscriber highlight. We got Will T on AE Ramble last week saying Cody stinks. That's all I have. Great comment. I just had to highlight that. Swaff Van 100 says, I love what Moose did at Bound for Glory. Right now, he is top heel in wrestling. At first, I thought he was tied with Reigns, but when I think about it, nah, Moose is top heel in my opinion. We're all entitled to our opinions, and Moose is entitled to his as well. So we'll talk about what he had to say on Impact Wrestling. But let's get right to our top news story, as we're going to be talking about Ring of Honor, a death before dishonor, pun intended, releasing all their talent following a post promoting a temporary hiatus and reimagining of the company. Ring of Honor issued an announcement on Wednesday stating that following December's Final Battle 2021 event, the company will take time in the first quarter of 2022 to reimagine ROH. The statement also noted that ROH is working on a pivot in order to come up with a new mission and strategy. The statement said, and I quote, throughout the pandemic, our top priority was to keep everyone healthy and safe. And despite not producing any live events over 18 months, we were able to keep everyone fully contracted. We now find ourselves at a time where we need to make changes to our new business operations and are planning a pivot for Ring of Honor with a new mission and strategy. The year will culminate with a Final Battle in December, and we'll be taking the first quarter of 2022 to work internally to reimagine ROH. ROH has the most dedicated fans in the industry, and we appreciate their loyalty and patience as we reconceptualize ROH. We anticipate returning to live events in April for the Supercard of Honor with a new fan-focused product and provide a unique experience for wrestling fans. PW Insider reports that ROH has informed staff and talent on the planned hiatus, which will begin after Final Battle. The event airs on pay-per-view on December 11th. The company plans on making changes to business operations and will not hold any live events until April of next year. With a reported return slated for Supercard of Honor, like the statement said, Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio went in to say that it's going to be run more like an independent promotion again, where people are going to be signed for per deal dates. However, it also appears all wrestlers currently under contract with the promotion have now been released by, that was reported by Dave Meltzer first, to potentially shed light. PW Insider in a later update reported that multiple talents were on a Zoom call today on Wednesday, where they were informed if their contracts were expiring at the end of the year, they will not be renewed. Following that time, they will be free to work elsewhere. For wrestlers who are under contract that go past January 1st, 2022, PW Insider noted that they will remain under contract for a certain period of time, and the window is expected to run through around March of 2022. Beyond that, ROH is still reportedly planning to continue taping their weekly show later this weekend in Baltimore, and Final Battle is also said to be still moving forward as planned. PW Insider notes that ROH still does have a venue scheduled for WrestleMania weekend next year in Dallas, Texas, and PW Insider reports that ROH plans to continue its weekly TV show during the hiatus by using archival footage and more. Fightful Select reported that the talent releases will be effective at the end of 2021, and everyone will be paid up until March 31st. Talent has been told to contact Greg Galini if they want to work elsewhere, and that if they're still under contract, the company will work on making that happen. Bandito immediately booked like 3 events for GCW as we talk.
Don't be mad, he needs money.
I ain't mad at him at all. The Briscoes already were working with GCW, becoming the GCW World Tag Team Champions last weekend. Joe Koff talked to PW Insider and said, and I quote, "We care very deeply about our people and our talent. This is contractual and an individual conversation. I'm not going to comment on it at this point." He did later go on to say that in 2018, they did have an opportunity to become bigger, and they lost out on that opportunity, which AEW capitalized on. When asked if talent would be able to take work with other companies, Koff said, and I quote, "Where we've had a conversation with them, and we will be certainly working with every talent for whatever needs they need to fulfill what they're looking for." It was reported on Thursday that ROH tape library is up for sale. That was reported by Sports Illustrated. But then the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that sources in WWE, AEW, and Impact have denied knowing anything about it, and it's likely that if they was up for sale, WWE and AEW would be the first companies to be contacted.
I'm
So
confused on all of this.
It's a lot to take in. It's a very vague type of things that they are putting out for sure, but the details that we've gotten from PW Insider, Fightful, and Wrestling Observer has shed more light on it. But I'll go to you first, John. What was your initial reaction to this news?
Before they even announced that they released everyone, when they put out that statement saying they would go on hiatus and come back in the spring, I thought they're dead. This is dead. It's it. They died, and this is how they're gonna break the news. It kind of seems that way still, because the more details that come out, the more they seem dead. Well, now they've released every wrestler. Well, now Joe Koff is saying goodbye to everybody on PW Insider. And it's like all the wrestlers immediately who work for RH immediately got on Twitter and just started like crying. And it's like, this is, regardless of what happens next year, if they come back, if they don't come back, this Ring of Honor as we knew it is dead. It's gone. It's time to hold the funeral, really. It's whatever shows up next year won't be Ring of Honor. I'd be surprised if they keep the same.
Been saying this for years.
It's very true.
He's been saying this for years, JJ. He's like, he didn't even know why SP would talk about it. He's like, why do you now? Everything is now true. That what he said.
It sucks because I think a lot of people kind of gave up on ROH over the last few years. Most people point at the Madison Square Garden show, but it was a little bit before that. There was a little bit. It was kind of coming already. The Madison Square Garden show was like the cherry on top of a shit cake.
Wow. Shit cake. Okay.
It was their biggest show yet, and they fucking was a wet fart in church. Like, it was all about New Japan. When the most memorable things, I talked about it with coming in to talk about this topic, is another host of Fusion of Honor. We got the Stat King here with us. We talked about it on the Romeo Report, and it's basically what we talked about there, is that Ring of Honor has kind of, like, the writing has been on the wall, but the most memorable thing about that Madison Square Garden show was fucking Enzo and Kaz invading when no one knew about it, and Matt Taven being the least over guy in an ROH World Title match to win the fucking title. Nick, let us know what's your thoughts on it. What's your gonna be like if this is the end for Ring of Honor? What's gonna be your greatest memories of ROH?
Enzo and Cass, of course. That's what everyone cared about, right? No, but like John was saying, I mean, the biggest thing about Ring of Honor is it wasn't the same. It's not the same company. It's just like with NXT 2.0. You know, the memories of that good NXT are gone, and this is pretty much a completely different entity. And I hate to see it go, but honestly, like, it's just like it's gone, and there's no bringing it back, unfortunately. And that's really a shame, because I have memories back in like the days of, like, you know, Raven and CM Punk, because I was, you know, that really big fan of Ring of Honor in the very early days, and you know, those were some of my fondest memories. And seeing these feuds with guys that went on to do great things in the future, you know, it used to definitely be that like launching pad for so many great talents, and to see what it is now, it's just a shame.
It really is, and it's been like a series. I went through the whole chronological order of their demise. And I dated it. I didn't even date it back to Madison Square Garden. Most people want to use the Elite as scapegoats but I said it on the Romeo Report with Stag King. They were scapegoats because ROH could have believed in the Elite at the time of their height when they did All In, but the Elite believed more in themselves than ROH did in them. And that was the main issue there. I dated back all the way to 2011 when Sinclair Broadcasting first bought Ring of Honor. They're a company that didn't know what to do with professional wrestling, and I feel like that was the downhill more than anything. Stat King, do you believe, after a couple of days since talking about it on the Romeo Report, do you believe that ROH will return, or is this really the end to you? Oh, did we lose John?
I thought he was very
I
sad.
think I'm still here.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Okay. Now I'm just having some Wi-Fi connection issue. I honestly, like we were talking about it on the Romeo Report, this is like just it just feels kind of weird. And I know Ness will echo this, but the number of times that we have said on Fusion of Honor when we're covering Ring of Honor matches, this match would be really, really great in front of a live Ring of Honor crowd has been higher than the number of matches I think they've even had in this pandemic era. But it's kind of just, it's unfortunate that they decided to continue to run no live event shows when they are trying to pay all these people. It just started looking like kind of depressing in a sense to have no crowds, especially when you'd have some people whose entrances are designed to pander to the crowds. Like I remember Ness. I know Ness remembers from that Women of Honor tournament, the first Sumi Sakai match, her versus Roxy. She comes out and she's pretending to high five people who are not there. It was just great as she's walking down to the ring. Yeah, no,
Wow.
she's just oh hey, and there's nobody there. So it just is it's a stark reminder of what Ring of Honor was. And especially, I think, and the funny thing is now I think about that every single time the Young Bucks make their entrance because their streamer entrance is designed to mimic their time in Ring of Honor. So if this is the end of what it was, I just think got something great planned for Final Battle. That's
I just want to commend you guys for watching that every week too. I can't do it. It's so sad to me. Like I watched Ring of Honor for so long to see it in this state every week and be like watching somebody die like in a bed with cancer, like very skinny now. It's real sad.
The crazy thing is that the quality of wrestling hasn't changed.
Yes,
it's still really, really great wrestling. There's just nobody there to see it.
It's like it's still a great person. This was a great person, but they're dying.
No, that's a great analogy. It's like seeing your family member as in a vegetative state. That's what Ring of Honor has been since this whole pandemic started. Krssi Luv, as someone who's not as big of a Ring of Honor fan as everyone else here, what's your reaction to this news? And do you feel like, as someone who hasn't been following like it, do you think like the writing's been on the wall for a while?
Yeah, because from the very long statement you said, I was just like, okay, 1 minute they're not out of business, but they're still gonna have people there and they're still gonna be getting shows. It's like, well, which one is it? Like, I sat here and listened to you. I'm like, I don't get nothing he's saying because it's all sound like blah, 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 blah. Like that's what it sounds like to me, But JJ's been saying Ring of Honor's been dead for years now. Like we've been doing this podcast. Like he always will get mad at you when you talk about it because he's like, JJ's been like, I guess he's been saying this for years. Too bad he's not here to say I told you so. Like. But I mean, it's sad to see a wrestling company like close down where people need jobs still nowadays. Hopefully these guys can. I mean, if they do decide to close, someone will pick them up and give them, not venting them because they'll destroy everybody. It'll be NXT 3.5000.
We don't need that. Please,
you don't need that because. But I would hope and pray that someone that has the money and has like the love for wrestling to help them get where they need to be or get back to where they were. Because it would be a sad thing to see another promotion like, with good talent, like you guys said, they're giving good wrestling still to like, be banished away now because, they don't have it for the rest of the people, So I think it's really sad. Hopefully I have my fingers crossed. I pray that they, we'll get it back together.
Hopefully they can get themselves together and come back in some type of form. PWG does the per date type of like independent promotion, and PWG was the close partner of sorts to Ring of Honor. Like a lot of feuds you would see in PWG, Ring of Honor would take it upon themselves to do those same feuds. So it gets like they're reverting back to their old school way with this. What we're hearing from Dave Meltzer.
I just want to say, I know a lot of people say that Sinclair was like the beginning of the end, and I feel like if you really want to pinpoint the beginning of the end, you got to take it back 2 years before that, because when Dragon and Nigel left, I don't think Ring of Honor ever recaptured that flame. But I don't want to blame Sinclair because there was still that generation that came after them, the Kevin Steen, the Adam Cole,
yeah.
But they get lost in the sauce that was the New Japan crossover. And that ends up being really maybe killed Ring of Honor, the dependence on that, and overshadowing their own next generation that they needed to cultivate so that they can keep their buzz. And eventually they lost New Japan, then they lost their own next generation, and they had nothing. So
I said that also on the Rodeo Report.
Sounds like
I was
bad
like,
soap opera.
they made themselves the secondary promotion in a partnership with New Japan because those guys never went over on a Tanahashi or Okada or Nakamura, so it made them look inferior. The only time they got wins ROH on New Japan, it was either the Young Bucks, who work with both promotions, Red Dragon, who worked with both promotions, AJ Styles, who worked with both promotions. That was the theme, really.
Don't even bring up those horrid ROH World Title matches in the Tokyo Dome. Those 6 months that they got.
Don't worry. I did that on Romeo Report.
So, Ness, my question for you: where do you think certain talent will head to next? Like when you think about the top talent in Ring of Honor, the ROH World Champion Bandito, Jonathan Gresham, Jay Lethal, lifers like Jay Lethal, and the Briscoes, where do you think they're going to head to next?
I think those guys gotta go to AEW. Honestly, it's just that the following that Ring of Honor has is the same as the people that tune into AEW every week. I would love to see Jonathan Gresham versus Bryan Danielson, preferably in a Pure Rules match if we can get that on national television. Someone that's that
Pure Rules, friend?
Yeah, Pure Rules. It's a match where there's 3 rope breaks. After the 3 rope breaks, you can't get any more rope breaks. There's no closed fist punches. There's only open hand slaps and chops. If anyone comes out to interfere in the match, they're fired. Well, clearly everybody just interfered in the Pure Rules match because everybody's fired.
And Ring of Honor still lost.
Yeah, they lost. But like, it's just match designed for pure wrestling, no shenanigans, nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, no nonsense. And I think that was one of the better things on their revamping when they're doing it. But I would also like to see a couple guys in Impact, like Bandito, Dragon Lee. I also want to see them cross promote between Impact and AEW. I know that there might not be that in the works as of right now, because you know me, I want to see Roosh, Dragon Lee link up with Andrade. I need it. I need that in my life. So also I like to see Shane Taylor Promotions on AEW because aside from all the other people, I'm not one of them. A lot of Black wrestling fans, we don't have anybody to represent us in AEW. There's plenty of people in AEW that represent. You just don't pay attention to them.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, you just don't pay attention to them. But Shane Taylor Promotions can be that type of faction that can garner that reaction from people. So it's a lot. And even the women's division, I would love to see Willow, Roxy, who again literally just got the Women of Honor title, and now the promotions is going out of commission for a while. So
You think she gets to keep the belt, or if they collect
I would,
it?
I would hope
Maybe.
so.
Maybe.
I hope so.
Yeah.
They collect
Well,
it like
because they've been
homework at the end of the day. Give
they've
those-
been doing something. They've been doing stuff where Roxy in particular will defend the title in indies around the country, so they can just continue doing that.
And it's an independent title now, pretty much. But look, I've been mentioning her a lot on anything I've been talking about with Ring of Honor this week. But Trisha Dora got signed last motherfucking month. How the hell do you sign someone a month ago and now they're fired?
In financial work.
Sinclair, like their whole situation has changed within the last month. They got hacked. They got their finances are screwed thanks to COVID and everything. So they really had to start taking a look at how they're spending their money.
Wow.
And if you look at Ring of Honor, it's like, what are we even doing with this? What are we spending all this cash for? We can have the same show nobody watches and pay nobody, and just be like, it's logical. It's very logical. It's just sad.
That's the thing too. Like Sinclair is a business, so like they have financial reports and stuff, so they don't have to be signing anyone when they see where the dynamic is for where their income's coming from. But hey, they're still signing people, so I don't know why they were doing that. But
it's a strange decision. We got a super chat donation here from Vala B. Another deposit for that True Hill Heat buys ROH fund. Hey, that's like $2 in the 100 rubies. It's like $2. So
every Saturday,
guys, we all collect our change from the couch. We put it together, and we can buy that tape library.
That was our idea during Romeo Report.
We're trying to
buy Ring of Honor.
We're either trying to buy the tape between me and John. I think we have the tape library for Ring of Honor years. But if we were to buy it and have the rights to it, all your super chat donations are going to True Hill Heat buying Ring of Honor. We've come up with Ring of Heels, Ring of Heat. Yes, we are gonna buy it. We're gonna buy it, and we're gonna change Fusion of Honor to Final Battle. We're gonna buy the names of their pay-per-views. We're buying everything, ladies and gentlemen. So super chat donations are going to True Hill Heat buying ROH once and for all. But speaking of ROH, you guys have been enjoying our fantasy wrestling drafts, and we've been doing it for 3 times now, where True Hill Heat is 0-2. I lost with Top Guy JJ. Just to recap things to John and Nick, I lost with Top Guy JJ against the Distractions podcast, Jeremy and Joe, because Top Guy JJ, we had the whole wrestling world at our disposal. And I told my first words to Top Guy JJ was Kenny Omega or Roman Reigns you go with as your number 1 pick. He picked Britt Baker, and so we lost.
No.
Then why did you veto? You could have vetoed. I was there. You could have vetoed him and picked Roman Reigns.
I could have, but I wanted to concede to my partner. I wanted to just be like, you know what? I believe in my partner, so I'm gonna go with what my partner says. But the second time, me and Ness, I can't blame Ness because we both did an admirable job, but we were behind the 8 ball already. We did an all African American wrestler, past and present fantasy draft with the Nubian Wrestling Advocates podcast. These guys literally talk about black professional wrestling for a living. So like we were behind the 8 ball, so we lost there as well.
So you had a disadvantage to
You put up a better fight though. I'll say
we
that.
did. We did.
That's trying to keep himself over.
The theme here, John and Nick, we always give our opponents the first pick, so you guys will have the first pick here. And this time, because of the top news story that we just did, we are doing Ring of Honor fantasy draft, but we're not just keeping it to the current roster, ladies and gentlemen. You will have the opportunity to pick all timers from Ring of Honor, anyone that's worked for Ring of Honor. But these are the rules. We're going 3 rounds. 3 rounds. You get 6 picks per round. 2 of your picks can be all timers from the Ring of Honor roster. Anyone that has worked, I will put it at 5 or more events for Ring of Honor to keep it at some type of some type of even playing field. You can't just pick Bobby the Brain Heenan or fucking Bret Hart because he appeared one time on Ring of Honor. They had to be at 5 different matches for Ring of Honor, and then the rest of your picks per round are going to be from the current roster, because I told Nick before we went live here, I told you as well, John, that if we just picked all-time ROH competitors, we wouldn't have the main roster that's currently free agents picked. So,
and just so you guys, just if you need to know, 5 events. Britt Baker was at 5 Ring of Honor events, so she.
I do know that. You didn't need to tell anybody. You're supposed to be on our side, but no. Since John is here, as well as Ness.
John, you want to take my place, friend? I could be a judge. You know.
No, Krssi, I need you to be my tag team partner because I need the female vote. No females are gonna pick against you. So whatever females we got in the live, and anyone that picks against Krssi and you're a male, you're sexist. I'm just gonna say that, and maybe that gets us more votes. But this is Ness is our on-screen judge. We also got John here for a number of times, so we'll get his opinion on the first rounds that he's a part of. But the main people picking who has the better roster between True Hill Heat and Dirt Sheet Radio is once again the True Hill Heat live chat. I do want to go through a couple of your comments before we get started here. Yes, Krssi.
You didn't say anything about tag teams.
Yes, you could pick tag teams, but no stables. So the most you could pick per a pick is 2 guys.
Okay.
You could pick any tag teams, and of course you'll have deliberations.
Bullet Club, basically, is what you're saying.
No, you can't pick the Bullet Club. You can't pick the Elite. It has to be a tag team. It can't be stables. So
within those groups.
Exactly. You can do that. John and Nick will have opportunity. They'll have 2 minutes to discuss their picks before they make it. Same as me and Krssi. We want to highlight a couple of your comments here. Bill's Mafia STF says Brody King needs to be with Malachi Black. I do agree. That is actually a good choice. The House of Black together. We got 5th Generation Carney saying that pure tournament ruled. Absolutely. EBB saying the beautiful thing about the current wrestling scene is that no matter where you sign, barring WWE, you could still show up on AEW TV. So I don't think most need to sign with AEW. That is a great point.
I do love that. You know, they're letting independent people still be independent and still, get shine on their platform.
Frantic World saying, I hope all of the ROH wrestlers don't go to WWE. Some of them can go to AEW, Impact, MLW, and New Japan. We also got Bill's Mafia saying Gresham should be an immediate upper card guy if he goes to AEW. It would be similar to Danielson's current run, which would be glorious. I do agree there. And Nick Jackson, hashtag Ring of Heat. I do like that one. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one so far. Godless Scummer, one of our new subscribers. Great to see you, brother. Saying hey-ho. Then we
joined yesterday.
Yes, he did. And Bill's Mafia warning me, saying SP3, just don't botch the number 1 pick again, and you'll be fine.
We're not.
We got Krssi this time, ladies and gentlemen. We did good with me and Ness because we gave the first pick to the NWA podcast, and they picked The Rock. The obvious. It's like you're in the 2003 NBA draft, and you got LeBron James on the board. Oh, do you pick LeBron James or do you go with Darko Milicic? No, you fucking pick LeBron James. But we came back with Sasha Banks, which I feel was the number 1 woman on the board. So we did well there. We just got to keep it up here. So Dirt Sheet Radio, you are on the clock. Who is your first pick in the fantasy draft? Y'all can discuss.
There's only really one choice for the first pick.
So you gotta take it now.
Take it now, right?
Do it.
The American Dragon, of course.
I already wrote them down for you guys.
It's honestly probably the greatest Ring of Honor wrestler that there's ever been, and maybe one of the best wrestlers ever. So that's an easy choice.
Yeah. When I think of Ring of Honor, I always think American Dragon. So that was a big one that we were talking about getting.
I don't blame you at all, because if I had the number 1 pick, that's Krssi Luv, we would have been picking Brian Danielson for sure.
Of course. Can someone keep track of who's writing what?
we got
Who's picking
yeah,
what? Okay, perfect.
we got our producers. We got Ness also keeping track, so we will have it scrolling at the bottom as well for everyone watching. So Bryan Danielson, the number 1 overall pick for Dirt Sheet Radio. And of course, we had to get Bryan Danielson from Ring of Honor, not Bryan Danielson now, Bryan Danielson from Ring of Honor. All right,
I want to
Krssi.
say, who is this guy?
Krssi,
Invasion.
we are on the clock. So my first thought here is there's 2 guys who, if you don't say Bryan Danielson's the greatest ROH competitor or ROH champion of all time, you either have to go with CM Punk
Right.
or Samoa Joe.
Ooh, damn. I'm gonna say Punk, friend. I think that would be the better out of the 2. Don't get me wrong, I love Samoa Joe too. Damn, this is hard. Oh, we're gonna go with Punk for the final answer, friend.
We gotta get our ratings up because he's a ratings draw.
Yes,
he sells some tickets, especially in Chicago where John is. You saw John just pop when we just said the name. So we're gonna sell tickets in Chicago because Chicago gets everything. You heard that, producer. And yes,
true.
we are going with our number 1 pick for True Hill Heat, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Yes, Summer of Punk. Absolutely. All right, Dirt Sheet Radio is back on the clock. Who is your number 2 overall pick?
So we get 5 all-time ROH choices. What was it?
No, you get 1 more, and you get 2 per round. So you already got 1. You get 1 more for this round.
Okay, so we're actually going to. Can we go modern? We can go.
Yeah. The rest is current. Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the Young Bucks.
Yeah. There's your other all-time pick. Yep. There you go. That's a good.
You gotta do it.
It's self-explanatory, just like Brian. The Bucks are one of the greatest acts to come through Ring of Honor and end up being
sell tickets wherever they go.
Exactly.
And they sell tickets everywhere. That's for damn sure.
So you're going with the Young Bucks. Do you have to pick the number 1 overall pick as far as tag teams for sure?
Right.
So we could either go with the current roster or we can go with an all-timer. Because we get the first pick in the next round because it's snake mode. I think we can hold off on Joe.
Yes, I was gonna say that. Hold off on someone and get maybe modern.
I would say don't do that.
Because they don't have another all-time pick. They don't have another all-time pick, so we can go with Joe as our first pick in the second round. So true. I think we go with an all-time pick, Krssi.
Right now, okay.
Yes, we go with the all-time pick. So, what I gave you a list of all-timers. So I'll let you throw some names at me here.
AJ Styles?
Huh?
AJ Styles?
AJ Styles is a good one. Kenny Omega has worked with Ring of Honor.
Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega then, friend.
Yeah, that's a money feud right there.
Between the Young Bucks and him,
we gotta deny them from putting the Elite together. So that's the move. We are going with Kenny Omega to go along with CM Punk.
And Kenny looks real different now.
I know he looks real different, producer.
Still straight edge though. Still straight edge.
He looks real different. Don't worry, producer. You could put a Kenny Omega current pick because he did do shows in 2017 and 2018. You don't have to go a Duguay. You can't do it. You don't have to go a Duguay Kenny Omega. So we could go with 2017, 2018. He made event one of the top shows, Super Card of Honor 2018. So yes, we're going with Kenny Omega as our second overall pick. Now it is on you, Nick and John. There you go. There's your last pick. So you got Bryan Danielson and the Young Bucks. Who you going with now?
Nick, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take this one.
All right. So here's the thing. We have Danielson. We're gonna need some sort of a really great in-ring product. We're gonna need something that's gonna draw in crowds, rematches. We're gonna want the fans to be all in on this. Therefore, our next pick in the draft, Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah.
That's the top. That's the top overall of one of the current guys. I do agree that's a great one. That's a great pick. So your third overall pick is Jonathan Gresham. Gresham versus Danielson, like we said before. That's a money matchup. That's money right there. So that's a great pick there. Krssi, we're on the clock.
Okay.
So
what? Okay.
So we can't pick all timers now. We got to go with the current roster.
Okay. So current.
I think we should go with a tag team. Because they already got the Young Bucks, and we can't.
So
we got to
need a tag team, yes. So
and there's one tag team that's been there since day one.
Is that Jonathan Gresham?
That's Jonathan Gresham. That's their third overall pick there.
He's so scrawny, but okay.
He's short.
He's only 5'4".
He's bulked up a little bit.
He's only 5'4". Leave him alone.
Okay, so he's my height. Okay, great.
Bill's Mafia is already trying to help us out. And Godless Scummer.
Okay, there's our answer right there.
They helping us out in the live chat. See, the live chat is with us. The live chat is in our corner. Yes, third overall for True Hill Heat, the Briscoes. Day one.
I think we looking good right now, son.
We looking good. We got our money feud. We got our money feud up top with the Bucks with Punk and Omega, and then we got the Briscoes, our tag team division. Got a nice little anchor there. So Dirt Sheet Radio, you're on the clock. Your fourth overall pick in the first round.
All right, Nick and I were doing a little bit of discussing, but I think Nick might have a better choice than I do. So I'm gonna let Nick take this one.
You like my idea?
Yeah, I'll take your idea. I like your idea.
All right. So for our next pick, we will be taking.
Okay, friend.
Oh, you gotta do that. You got. That's how you know it's. Because our next pick.
It's earlier over here than it is over there.
I know.
We're gonna be taking Roosh.
Ooh.
I was
not mad at you.
Next round too. Damn.
Not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. That's a good pick. You get
I will say, I don't trust him. I think he lied to us about an injury to get out of a contract, but it's still a good wrestler to have.
It's a good pick for what we need.
We got some nice little picks here in the chat. People already putting suggestions for the next round because we both teams have already picked their all timers, but that's a great pick for the next round in Red Dragon. But yes, Dirt Sheet Radio, fourth overall in the first round, going with Roosh. So I know what I just messaged you, Krssi.
Right? Yeah.
But they left the door open.
Yeah,
motherfuckers left the door wide open for us. They didn't think strategically.
Okay.
Let's take these motherfuckers' family away from them. Let's go with Dragon Lee and Kenny King, LFI.
Okay.
Really? That's a different pick than I thought you guys were going to go with right now.
We got to think strategically. We got to take things away from you. That's what we that's what we do in round one. Round one, we just chop your legs out from under you. You don't have stables. Like we're not keeping your stables together. We go with Dragon Lee, one of the best junior heavyweights in the world. Kenny King. We got diversity. See, people want diversity in rosters. We needed a brother. I literally messaged Krssi, a brother and a Mexican, and we got it in one pick. There we go. So now you are up, Dirt Sheet Radio. Your number 5 overall pick.
All right, so I thought that this was the direction you guys were going to go in, but since you didn't, there's going to have to be a little bit of strategy in this pick. We'll pivot from what we were going to do originally, and we're going to take Bandito Jr. because that's a world-class wrestler. And we still we could put him with Rush if we wanted to. I'd rather not. I'd rather have the matches. We're going to have some banger matches in this Ring of Honor roster of ours. And for that, we need someone like Bandito.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you. That was one of the people I did message.
Yep. That was one
I did message Krssi that one.
Have to use the other one then.
So once again, we're going to be cutting their legs off because they're not thinking strategically, ladies and gentlemen. They're not thinking strategically. So they got Jonathan Gresham. Not only are we going with what I messaged you, Krssi, We gotta go for the 2-for-1s. Let's go with the foundation of Jay Lethal and Tracy Williams.
That's
We're
good
getting
stuff.
here.
We getting these 2-for-1s out here, ladies and gentlemen.
Good stuff.
Like spades, friend.
It's like, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I get one when you can get 2 for free. Like what? 2 books. We got 2 books in these motherfuckers. Like, come on. Jay Lethal and Tracy Williams are 5th overall in the first round. So your final pick of the first round, Dirt Sheet Radio.
All right, the final pick of the first round. I feel like there's a glaring we were talking about something, but we weren't exactly 100% sure on it. There's so much talent, but I see the way you guys are drafting, so now I have to think a little different about where we're moving.
See, Krssi, we got them on the back foot. We got them on the back foot right now. They had the number 1 overall pick. How we got y'all on the back foot?
I want to make sure I have the very best roster. Okay, so it's more. You guys can take multiples, but I just want to make sure I get the highest quality wrestlers.
Yes.
I was gonna say it feels like they're stalling while they look on Wikipedia.
I know, and they're typing.
They're stalling while we talk to each other. There's way too much.
Exactly. You can tell John's typing to him because he's recording off of his phone, and you see his finger just going like this.
I'm typing right at Nick right now.
It's okay. I just do that normally, so it's fine.
I'm just cleaning my camera. What are you talking about?
Yeah, come on.
No, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna take Shane Taylor because he should have been a first round pick, and we kind of slacked, and we might as well grab him now before you guys take him in the next round.
Fuck. They read our messages, Krssi. They read our messages.
They hacked that stuff like North Korea.
You guys, you can get his the rest of Shane Taylor promotions if you want, but I want.
Nah, we
Thanks, Kim Jong. Appreciate it, bro.
I want that Marcus Garvey driver. Okay.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. I ain't mad at you.
Right now, who do we have?
So we have CM Punk, Kenny Omega,
the Briscoes, Kenny King, Jay Lethal, and Tracy Williams.
Got you. Okay. So this is our first round, and we're number 6 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we're our final pick of the first round here. I'm gonna once again send you 2 choices, Krssi.
I thought we were gonna go with. Okay, go ahead. Send it.
Well, no, they picked the reason why I was going with that pick. That pick was to get Shane Taylor and someone else with it.
Got you. Got it. Okay. Now
they thought they didn't think hard. They thought smart there. That was a good move. I would give you that. We had them on the ropes, but they came back and they jabbed us and they got away from the ropes. So we gotta come hard with this last pick here. So I got it. That's the pick if you're okay with it.
Okay.
We are going with Violence Unlimited, Brody King, and Homicide. An ROH classic and an ROH current top star for ROH. We're going with Violence Unlimited.
Why is your face like that? Is that a good?
Because that was a strategic. Hell yeah! That was very good.
Yeah, follow you on that one.
Like we're totally fucked, or we just so good. Like
I'm Phil Alfonso cutting it right down the middle. I can't be biased, but my face was a very biased decision, like reaction to that decision. That was a good one. That was a very good one.
Okay.
All right, so Ness, you want to run down what the first round looking like for both teams?
For Dirt Sheet Radio, their first round draft picks are Bryan Danielson, the Young Bucks, Jonathan Gresham, Roosh, Bandito, and Shane Taylor. For True Hill Heat, your first round draft picks are CM Punk, Kenny Omega, the Briscoes, Dragon Lee and Kenny King, Jay Lethal and Tracy Williams of the Foundation, Brody King and Homicide of Violence Unlimited.
So let us know. We're going to put the in-chat poll in the live chat. Let us know who you think won round one of this ROH fantasy wrestling
They're
draft.
both good They're both good rounds,
They
guys. I
are.
don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
This one is tough. Y'all came hard with the Brian Daniel. Your best picks for me was Brian Danielson and Jonathan Gresham. So I give y'all credit. Y'all thought smart, not hard.
We're thinking far too, so we're already ready for a couple of picks. I hope y'all are.
Round two is going to be a slobber knocker. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, let's go.
I'm ready. I gotta go through the rest of the news and stuff, but I'm gonna type some things in between y'all talking to Krssi Luv, so we are prepared for the next round. So while they vote in the live chat on who they thought was the better pick, we got a couple of comments to highlight here. Negro Buck Nick Jackson said, "Man, True Hill Heat is coming for the juggler." We got Bill's Mafia talking about our last pick, saying, "Great pick." He also says both very good. He likes both rosters. MW Network saying, "Anyone pick Trisha Dora and Eli?" Okay. And Frantic World saying this was a good first round. I would argue that this was probably the most even first round of any of the fantasy drafts we've done so far. Krssi, as a novice ROH fan, we doing it. We doing this.
So far, we look like we good. Like I'm looking at the names, I'm like, we looking all right. You know what I'm saying?
We looking all right. We looking all right. We just gotta be strategic for the rest of the round because me and Ness won the first round last time, so it's no guarantees after first round. But while we prepare for round two, we got to go through what we missed. First up, you got Impact Bound for Glory 2021. Josh Alexander defeated Christian Cage in the main event to win the Impact World Championship. He celebrated with his wife and son afterward, and then Moose cashed in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy to beat Alexander to win the Impact World title right in front of his family. Mickie James defeated Deonna Purrazzo in a sublime encounter to win the Impact Knockouts Championship. Trey Miguel beat Steve Macklin and El Phantasmo in a tremendous three-way match to win the X Division Championship. The Inspiration made their debut to defeat the Decay to win the Impact Knockouts Tag Team titles as well.
I'm sorry.
You don't like it? You like Iconics more?
I wish they would have came up with a better name. I'm sorry.
I think both names suck, honestly. but
like exactly, if you go from the Iconics to the Inspiration, like, it just don't like. I don't know. I
There's
like
also
them.
too many syllables. You're right, though. There's too many syllables for a wrestling name.
Too much, right? Like
Inspiration. Like it's a little much.
But whatever.
A little much to say the least, but I'll go to our Impact expert here, Ness. What was your thoughts on Bound for Glory? What stood out the most to you?
It was a great show overall. That main event segment, the post with Josh Alexander celebrating with his family, that was nice. But then when Moose came out, casting the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, if you guys were on our watch along, you seen me marking out. I lost my fucking mind. Moose is the guy that myself and Chris G, we were like rooting for him to become Impact World Champion for the longest, and it just seemed like a forgotten or foregone opportunity. So the fact that he won and then cashed in on this, he definitely catapulted himself to be one of the top heels in the business right now, because everybody's like, oh my God, how could Moose do that? What the hell? This is supposed to be Josh Alexander's moment. And that was the reaction that you're supposed to give him, you know? So that was great. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little angry at the fact that Deonna Purrazzo wasn't able to defeat Mickie James. I felt as though she was having a tremendous run. I wanted her to continue that to defeat Mickie, and just that'll be another notch on her under her belt for a tremendous knockouts championship run. But there's always a chance for her to get it back. Overall, the show was great. Trey Miguel, he had he definitely deserves the X Division title. He had a great showing. That match was my favorite match on that card, and I'm not too crazy about the Inspiration coming in their first match. They beat the Decay.
And win. You just got here.
Yeah. I wasn't too much of a fan of that, but
like, are they going to draw people in to watch them?
It's
like,
possible.
You have to count that in. I mean, maybe they are hoping that. but I didn't think that they should have won right away.
I don't know. No.
I wanted them. I predicted them to win, and I felt like it was the right move. I mean, the Decay is a good team, but they're not like Fire and Flavor. They're not like the team that you build the division around. So inspiration is.
There's something about perspective there with TNA Impact. They're known for bringing in recently released WWE wrestlers to come in, kill their own built talent, and take their titles. I feel like maybe they should have been a little more conscious about that. Like, you could still strap them. I don't think you had to do it on the day one. You just murdered your whole thing, but
that is a little bit of TNA aftershock with the guys that used to come in and then just win the title immediately. That used to be, the main thing they would always rely on way too often. That was ridiculous. To answer this question here from Anthony Manzano, SP3, why did you draft Brody King and Homicide of Vitamins Unlimited, it's Violence Unlimited, instead of drafting the whole group? That's one of the rules of the draft. You can only put
the stables.
Yeah, you can't pick stables. You can only pick two. And the super chat button is there for me, and we already got a super chat donation, so you might need to refresh, brother Anthony. Romeo, you coming in?
Way too much inspiration slander here going on, guys. Are you not
Don't get me wrong,
inspired right now?
I like the gimmick. Like, they have the talking
gimmick,
and promo ability to carry the feuds. I don't think they have the in-ring ability to make me. I don't know. They definitely have the opportunity to have better matches now because they're not under the WWE micromanaging. But the best thing they can do is talk.
The name is great. Inspiration.
See, it does. You could chant it. As long as you could chant it, you're doing something right. We got Stat King saying having some Wi-Fi issues, but he says that True Hill Heat won round one, especially when you've got a 180-minute Iron Man match to start off round two with Samoa Joe versus CM Punk. He's giving stuff away. You can't give stuff away, man. But outside of what the main thing from Bound for Glory was, of course, Moose winning the Impact World Championship, like Ness mentioned. Nick, what do you think that was the good move by Impact, or should they have went with the babyface winning and ending the show with Josh Alexander as the champion?
It's always about getting that babyface reaction at the end of the day, but Impact needs to do something that really just gets the audience back into it, because so many people have just left and don't want to come back because Impact has this real stink to it, and it's a product that it's not the same anymore. And it's the same thing that we talked about earlier with Ring of Honor. It's just like, you need to try and get people to come back, otherwise next thing you know, we're going to be hearing about Impact releasing every single person.
I honestly, I keep saying it and I'll say it again. Impact is the cockroach of professional wrestling, because I never seen somebody be on their motherfucking, like Jonathan said earlier, be on your deathbed, be in a vegetative state, and then just pop out and just be like, no, I'm back, I'm here.
Impact cannot be killed by normal means.
No, they're like a cat. They have like 9 lives. You ever heard you push the cat off the roof, they're gonna land on like at least 3 of the 4 legs. One might be injured, but they're still gonna come back. And they're still gonna be like that stray that just won't go away.
Yeah, Jonathan would appreciate this. It's like someone from Dragon Ball Z getting their ass kicked and then popping a Zenzu beam, popping right back up.
Impact got unlimited sensu beams. You can't kill them. You're never gonna kill them.
They got Yajirobe right there in the back.
We really live in a world where ROH died before Impact. That's some wild.
That's if you were talking to 2017 SP3 and you told him that Impact is running and probably got more popularity in this year than they have in a while ROH is closing down seemingly, I would have smacked you in the face and say, like, stop fucking lying to me. Like, what?
I mean, look, Impact's outlasted Triple H's NXT.
Oh, shit. Good point. Good point. That is a good point. But we got to talk about what happened last night in wrestling with AEW Rampage with the fantastic, incredible AEW World Title Eliminator semifinal match between Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston. Bryan Danielson getting the win after Eddie Kingston turned his chest into fucking raw meat at one point with chops. We saw kicks. We saw backdrop suplexes off the top rope. Both men with a crazy strike exchange at the end with Eddie Kingston getting the spinning back fist. He crawls over for the cover, but Danielson gets in a triangle choke, lays in the elbows like he was the Bryan Danielson we saw earlier that these guys drafted for number 1 overall in ROH with the elbows to the top of the dome to get the victory as Eddie Kingston flipped him off, giving him the middle finger in the triangle choke as he passed out. Dante Martin beat Matt Sydal in a great contest as well. High flying excellence there. And Dr. Britt Baker DMD defeated Abaddon in a trick or treat match. Once again, going into thumbtacks because, yes, Britt Baker is the hardcore legend. John, what was your thoughts on Kingston versus Danielson, that classic to kick off Rampage last night?
Oh, that was glorious violence. That was beautiful. There was I've said it now, like by this point, if the match says Bryan Danielson's name on it, it's guaranteed entertainment. We're like back at Ring of Honor levels with this man. It's insane. He's coming out here to wrestle the greatest match he could possibly have in that ring every single time. It's great. And they beat the shit out of each other too. There's some still images out there. Kingston's face just sliding in the opposite direction from some of those slaps. And of course, we just saw Danielson's chest and everything. So it's like wild. This match was on television. This was not in front of 500 people in a gym somewhere. This was on TNT. It's beautiful. I love this era of wrestling right now.
And yeah, we would be remiss to not mention the post match with Kingston flipping out backstage and then seemingly starting a feud with CM Punk, which should be just as glorious of a matchup right there, with CM Punk giving us a bunch of quality matches on TV and whatnot. Krssi Luv, what did you think about Danielson and Eddie Kingston last night?
I thought it was amazing. This is the Daniel Bryan I wish I'd known or saw before, because this is not the you know what I meant his name. I said it damn wrong. Sorry. You know what I mean. But I didn't see this person of who he is when he was on SmackDown or Raw or whatever. I never known this man. So this wrestling that I'm seeing from him now is just glorious because I couldn't stand him. You guys loved him. I didn't like it. I've said it before. And I stand behind it still too. But this person that I'm seeing on AEW is just phenomenal. And he just outdoes himself in each match. What does he have? Like 5 matches so far, maybe?
And all 5 different finishes for all of them.
Exactly. So it's like you're getting different variations of this man that he couldn't. And then remember, he couldn't even wrestle for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, they were holding this person back. Bad. This man is a cash cow. And you guys are just like, you made him a tree hugger and a earthly man and just made... Just sad, but that match, his chest alone, oh my god! Like I was like, wow. A visual representation of the matchup right there was Danielson's chest. And then I didn't even know I wanted to see Punk and Kingston. Like, give it to me, please.
I was talking to Dutch Mantel during our review last night, and he was like, this felt like an old school type of angle, which felt like real and authentic the way it happened. He was like, that's how arguments start, is that if someone's talking over on the side and you think you're talking about them because you're so in your head, and then it starts a beef between the two. So I love what they did with the post match, what they did with the match. Everything about it was excellent. We got a super chat donation here from Professor Chris joining us. Professor Chris, we're doing better. We're doing better than last time. We're doing better already in the fantasy wrestling draft. He says that cash-in felt too much like a WWE thing when it happened, but I think that the promo Moose cut made the Impact Championship felt like the most important world title in wrestling. We're definitely gonna mention that as well from Impact on Access TV this week. Another super chat donation from the Negro Buck Dick Jackson saying Krssi just called Brian his slave name. Gotta be careful,
Nick,
Krssi.
thank you. I'm so sorry. You know what else I was talking about, though.
Also, last night, I just have to mention former WWE employee Dutch Mantel did not enjoy SmackDown, and he said that this was the biggest win. Rampage. He thinks that Rampage is going to draw more viewers than SmackDown this week. That's how bad he felt SmackDown was. He says
he wasn't really lying to you though, because how do you have SmackDown and don't have the Tribal Chief on there at all?
That was the biggest glaring misstep there. It wasn't
Tribal
a very
Chief on your season premiere, and he's not even fucking here.
Hey, it started off with Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, who were interrupted by Shotzi. Shotzi got a huge babyface reaction. So, of course, Charlotte defeated her in a championship contenders match. And then Shotzi turned heel by beating a popular heel in Sasha Banks in a puzzling angle after she was cheered and chanted for. I can't. King Woods knighted Kofi Kingston as Sir Kofi and was interrupted by the Usos, leading to the main event where New Day defeated the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and Adam Pearce fined Brock Lesnar $1 million in the follow-up to their angle. Krssi, you got something to say?
I do. I am loving the angle of King Woods and Sir Kofi, or his hand. However, I don't love the fact that they don't give Zelina the same type of shine or feeling when it was her turn on Monday Night Raw. She puts her own fucking crown on. She puts her own cape on. Like, no one was, I mean, she's not in a stable in a group, but like, give it the same energy. Make it make sense. Like, don't do one way and then make hers like a shit ass promo where she now has to still go and fight Doudrop again. It's dumb. It's just dumb. Like, give her some, like, make Sonya Deville do a job then. Like, she's the manager or somebody. Like, make her do it. Like, make it make sense of why you made her the queen.
No, they're doing a heel trope with King Woods, but it works because he's a babyface and he's just embracing it. But it's just not translating because it feels old with Zelina doing the whole queen gimmick. On a lighter note, we had AEW Dynamite this week, 941,000 viewers this week. Slightly, one of their lowest ratings since like July, it seems.
It's playoffs, man. As the NBA just came back, the World, you can't really like put the two all. Like, you can't even match the two together. It's just not fair. I'm just saying.
And plus, they've been on Saturday the last 2 weeks as well. But it was a fun episode with the Dark Order defeating the Elite in the main event. An insane blast of a matchup, an 8-man Halloween themed matchup with Evil Uno.
Was hilarious.
Evil Uno as a cowboy, Stu Grayson as Kratos, John Silver as Bambi.
No, Sexy Bambi. Remember that.
Sexy Bambi. You are correct. You are correct. Colt Cabana as Brandon Cutler. I'm bringing Brandon Cutler for Halloween next year. And the Elite as the Ghostbusters, with Nakazawa as the baby and Cutler as the Marshmallow Man, or so we thought, as it was later revealed at the end of the show, at the end of the match, that Hangman Page was underneath the Marshmallow Man hood, and he attacked Matt Jackson, leading to the Dark Order getting the win. Hikaru Shida, it was awesome.
That was so fun. Oh man.
Hikaru Shida defeated Serena Deeb in a fantastic matchup to advance in the TBS Women's Championship Tournament. Afterwards, Deeb attacked Shida with the steel chair, injuring her leg and applying the Serenity Lock. John Moxley defeated 10 by mauling that young man and busting him open to advance in the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament.
To him like that. He did not have to do that to that.
And then he just walked out to go back to his daughter. CM Punk defeated Bobby Fish in a great opener. You also had Sammy Guevara beat Ethan Page to retain the TNT Championship. Cody Rhodes cut a polarizing promo about his recent fan reactions with Andrade El Idolo interrupting.
That was good stuff. He's got the fucking puppet strings in his hands, and they're wonderful. I love it. I love to see wrestlers get the crowd like that. They're under his control. He can do, if he wanted to, he can turn heel tomorrow and they would cheer him out of the building.
Yep.
He can do if he wanted to, but he wants them to boo him. So he's doing it. It's masterful.
He's doing very well with this character, self-aware. He's like a self-aware John Cena or Roman Reigns at the moment. Nick, what was your thoughts on AEW Dynamite and what stood out the most for you?
What stood out the most to me was number 10, Preston Vance, getting absolutely obliterated by Jon Moxley. Because when was the last time we saw 10 get destroyed, number 1, and number 2, in a fashion like this? Like, Moxley's literally mauling him.
Like Nick Jackson said, Jon Moxley beat the dog shit out of Preston 10 Vance. Absolutely. Ness, what was your highlight of Dynamite this week?
Honestly, my highlight was the 8-man tag the post with Hangman going after Matt Jackson. I know a lot of people are focused on Kenny Omega and Hangman at the moment, but the underlying story, in my opinion, was how this whole storyline of Hangman being kicked out of the Elite. Matt Jackson was pretty much the one that's been traumatizing him this whole, like, he's the one that kicked him out. He's the one that's been like giving him shit for so long. So now it's like, yeah, we know that Kenny and Hangman are due to clash, but Hangman's like, oh, I got to kick Matt's ass first.
Right.
Yeah, I like that because there's the long story, the long term storytelling. AEW has that down pat, and a lot of people are like, oh, Hangman's not going to be around because he was having a kid. So who's going to go face Kenny Omega Full Gear? You know, a lot of people didn't want to believe in the long-term storytelling of Hangman coming back and getting that shot again. But now that we're on course for it to happen, again, the underlying story that a lot of his self-doubt came from one of his best friends putting him through hell, mentally, and it's a little fucked up. But now he's getting back to where he should be and getting his mental and his confidence back. So now it's not looking too good for Matt, as you can see.
Yeah, Matt is the one that told him before Revolution, you were nothing until we decided to make you a part of the Bullet Club. So it all goes back to that with those two. So I want Hangman versus Matt Jackson on the go home to Full Gear. I think that's the best way to go to go into the pay-per-view. NXT.
I was gonna say before we move on from that Dynamite main event, I don't know if a lot of people noticed because some of it happened during the picture-in-picture, but there's an underlying story between Kenny Omega and Adam Cole. It's nuts. They refuse to tag each other. And then Kenny goes to do his camel clutch, and Cole's like, "Get out of here!" He moves him out of the window.
No, he was like, "Go!" They're trying to come in, and they did it behind his back.
It's great stuff. This is great stuff. AEW with the subtle storytelling. I love that stuff.
And if you actually follow these guys for years, you already knew when Cole got there what could possibly happen. And what could possibly happen in another few months once someone else might possibly end up in AEW as well.
Oh,
exactly. We might not see no Elite no more. It might be Mount Rushmore. NXT Halloween Havoc 2021 is what we also miss. They did their highest rating since the second week of 2.0 with 746,000 viewers. Yes, Tommaso Ciampa defeated Braun Breaker in a good main event to retain the NXT championship. And then they had title chains up and down the card with Imperium beating MSK in a very good tag match. You also, to win the NXT tag team titles, you had Mandy Rose defeat Raquel Gonzalez in a trick or street fight to win the NXT Women's Championship after interference from a masked druid who revealed herself to be Dakota Kai. Toxic Attraction walked out with all the gold as Gigi Dolan and JC Jane also defeated Io Shirai and Zoe Stark and Indy Hartwell and Persia Parada in a Scareway to Hell ladder match to win the women's tag team titles. Over on Raw, you had Seth Rollins defeat Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, and Rey Mysterio in an awesome Fatal 4-Way ladder match to become the number one contender for the WWE Championship. The Dirty Dogs beat Street Profits.
Just make it make fucking sense.
I literally called this, though. I literally called this. He loses to Edge, and then he's going to become number one contender. I called that. The Dirty Dogs beat Street Profits and Alpha Academy in a triple threat to get a shot at the Raw Tag Team titles. RK Bro then defeated the Dirty Dogs to retain the titles. And then over on Impact on Access TV, Moose cut a scorching promo, a very good promo, calling out Kenny Omega, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Roman Reigns, and any other champion in the business, and saying that he had the best world title title in the business today. And Minoru Suzuki made his debut in Impact Wrestling, getting into a pull-apart brawl with Josh Alexander. So a lot of interesting stuff on the post Bound for Glory Impact on Access TV. But it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for round 2 of our fantasy wrestling draft. If producer can pull up or come in and tell us who the fans voted, who the live chat voted as the winners of round 1.
81% pick True Heel Heat.
Oh, let's go, Krssi. We're off to a good start.
Right.
It's time.
Keep it up. Yeah, gotta keep it up. That's how we started off.
Exactly. Nothing's guaranteed with a round 1 win. Krssi, we got the first pick of round 2. So let's not even play any games, and let's go with who we were originally thinking of. So you want to say it?
Mr. Joe himself.
Joe, the longest reigning ROH world champion of all time, Samoa Joe, 21-month reign, the guy that put me on to Ring of Honor. We're going with Samoa Joe as the number 1 overall pick in round 2. Dirt Sheet Radio, you are on the clock.
Yeah, I just want to say, that's definitely a pick you had to go with.
Yes.
I'll fault you on that one.
Absolutely. So Nick, John, who you going with?
We're going to go ahead and go with Kevin Steen and El Generico.
You learning.
You're learning.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who are they going with?
That was an easy one. It was either going to be Joe or these guys.
Yeah.
We knew you would take Joe, but we had a.
That was our backup. Right in the
We had
pocket.
one in the back pocket.
Oh yeah, we was thinking about them too. We had them down. Yep.
I ain't mad at it at all. So I had a couple of people that I messaged her, but that was the number one overall that I was thinking of. But I'm gonna throw this one at you, Krssi, and you tell me if we should go with it, because I've seen them mention one tag team in the live chat, but they're not thinking the strategic route of this one. What do you think?
Let's do it, friend. Pull it.
Our number 2 round pick of round 2, we're going with Future Shock, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
Mm. That's really
Let's
good.
go. Let's go.
You saw
Let's go.
This was like.
You want to know why? Because I knew you guys were going to pick a tag team. I had a feeling, but I'm not going to say what I thought it was. But it doesn't matter now because they can't get them. I thought it was going to be Red Dragon. So the fact that you still got Kyle, but now you got Cole too. I didn't even think of those guys.
We playing 3D. We playing 3D chess. 3D chess out here in these streets. Yeah, Romeo, why are you shaking your head?
Can you believe Red Dragon is split up in this draft? Split up.
We're like WWE with the New Day out here in these streets.
Yep.
Dirt Sheet, you are up. Your second pick of round 2.
You can go ahead and take this one, Nick. I like that pick.
Okay, so for our next pick, like you guys are going, we gotta get some beef on here. We gotta beef up this roster. So we're gonna be going with the Kings of Wrestling.
Oh,
I like this round. I like this round a lot.
Now they're thinking. Now they coming at us hard, Krssi. They not pulling no punches. That was a good one because I was thinking of them too.
Wow. Okay.
That was a good pick. That was a good pick, ladies and gentlemen. I can't front at all. So we got one in there that I see our producer is on our side. He's trying
dirty bastard. Dirty bastard. We've got the odds stacked against us. We're the baby faces here, man.
No, not Romeo. Romeo's impartial. We got our Bill Alfonso for our tag team here. He's trying to help us out. But I don't know about that pick. I don't know just yet if we should go with that pick.
What else did you have as a second? Like,
Well, we can't pick any more all timers, and
Right.
we got to go with the current roster. And we went through a lot of the current the top picks of the current roster so far. So I'm gonna have to skim through real quick to look up.
Oh,
We could go with a female. We could go with a female.
We don't have any on our team right now.
I mean, we got to go with the ROH woman of honor champion, maybe, or I feel like that's too early as well. I mean, it don't really matter. It don't really matter. But Romeo,
I was gonna say don't scream at that.
8, 7, 6. But hurry up.
All right, we can go with Roxy. No, let's go with Willow Nightingale.
Oh,
great.
Nice.
Oh, that's a good choice.
That's a good one.
See?
That was she was
you got me
definitely
on your team, friends.
no
one was even thinking about women until I said something.
For sure.
She's on our radar, yeah.
She's great. I'd love to see more Willow in more places after Ring of Honor shuts down because she's so good. I
agree with you. But you're on the clock. Who's your third pick in round 2?
All right, we've got a little bit of time here, so we've got 2 ways we can go right now. We could go another female just to kind of stop you from getting a female, but then we don't want to screw ourselves out of whatever our next pick or pick before that was going to be. And technically, we have 2 big females left on the roster. You can't take them together, and either you guys are going to get one of them, and we're going to get the other. That's guaranteed. So we're probably going to go with this next pick, and they're not exactly the best wrestlers, but they're so fucking over. We're going to go with one of this little Ring of Honor tag team they had. It was PCO and Danhausen.
Fuck! They took what I was thinking. I was thinking of that one. Damn, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah,
that's a good pick. We gotta get it to you.
Obviously, we built like a wrestling heavy roster, but these guys were so over, man. You can't deny that to the audience.
Gotta take it.
Pulling the rug right from under us. I like it. I like it. It's a smart move. It's the smart play. So
this is our 4th pick.
This is our 4th pick of round 2.
Okay.
The current roster is getting bare. It's getting bare bones. We're getting bare. We're getting down to the bare bones of this current roster. But we got to get. We got a wrestling. We got our top of the card is pretty stacked because you got Punk. You got Omega, you got Jay Lethal, you got Adam Cole, you got Kyle O'Reilly. But we need to fill out the rest of the roster pretty well. But he can also play a role in the top of the card as well because he brings something different, not the wrestling ability of everybody else, but he could probably keep up on the mic with CM Punk. I'm thinking EC3.
Nice pick.
What do you think? What do you think, Krssi?
He was on the list. You might as well take him.
Take him.
We're going with EC3 as our 4th pick in the
control your
round
narrative.
2. Absolutely, we're gonna control this narrative. Who you got, guys?
We like we said, there was basically we're down to the bare bones, and we want to have good women on our roster, and it was going to be either the ROH World Champion Roxy or Trish Adora. And we're gonna take Trish Adora right now. Yeah,
great pick. Great pick. The best finishing move name in the business today. The Lariat Tubman. The Lariat Tubman. I gotta hand it to you on that one. That's a good first pick for the women for you guys. But let's go with another woman. I said her before. They already left it on the table. They said that was their other way. Let's go with the Woman of Honor champion, Roxy.
Let's go.
We're going with Roxy as our fifth, our penultimate pick of round 2. You're on the clock, Dirt Sheet Radio.
After that, we're gonna go ahead and take. You took Willow, so we can't take Willow. That's fucked up. I was really.
We all simp over.
Who do I have left on here? We're gonna have to take a second too. We have to look who's left.
Yeah, Romeo will come in when you're running out of time. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
We're gonna go ahead and take the. Man, I can't believe. I feel like I should take a woman just because we don't have women, but there's.
But you gotta think about the next round.
How many picks do we even have left?
You have two more in this round. Two more in this round, and then you got the final round.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at the thought process. They are thinking hard right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and converse with my partner here.
They are thinking real. See, we got them on the ropes again, Krssi. This is second round in the world. Look at their squad right now. Their squad is deep. It's deep and rich in talent. I will give it to them. This is the Dirt Sheet Radio team right now. They're doing very well assembling their squad. But look at this. Look at the True Heel Heat squad.
Look at our group though. Yeah, our squad is like right now. Yeah.
Look at that. We got CM Punk, Jay Briscoe, Jay Lethal, former Homicide, former ROH World Champions. We got Kenny Omega, former IWGP and AEW World Champion. The Briscoe, 11-time tag team champion. Let's do this.
The Hammerstein Ballroom in the background.
Absolutely, you got to be in New York. That's the place of the immortals, the place where all the greatest Ring of Honor moments has happened.
All right, so we were able to gather a decent strategy. Right,
we got some long-term strategy going too.
You got to have the long-term.
We're placing our trap card right now.
Right.
Not the trap card. Okay, friend. Let's do it.
They're trying to trap us. They're trying to trap us in the paint. All right. Go ahead. Who y'all got?
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put the pressure on Nick because I love him so much. You go ahead and let them know which way we're gonna go.
The way we're gonna go, we will be going with Anthony Tony Deppen.
Ooh, that was a good pick. Yeah. That was a good pick. That came in the clutch.
It's like
I couldn't believe he was still sitting there. Honestly, I was like, "Oh wow."
Is that like a curveball that they just threw at us?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean
that was a good one.
All the way in the back.
Hey, at least it's not the last round. At least he's not Mr. Irrelevant here. So we got our final pick right of the second round. Am I correct, Ness?
Yep.
All right, Krssi, I sent you. Are you good with that one?
I am good with that one, friend.
So you guys picked the head of the team, but we can't even pick trios, so we'll take the other halves. We're gonna go with the Mexican squad of Ray Horace and Flamita.
Nice.
Nice. Tag team division on stack, Krssi, on stack. We
period.
Killing the game right now.
Air 5, you friend. Wait, no.
Absolutely, we killing it. All right.
Looks like we're just pushing Ness.
Exactly, we're just like pushing Ness to the side. Like,
I would give you guys back, but I gotta be down the middle. Can't do that.
Well, okay, real quick, Ness. There we go. So your last pick of the second round, who you going with? Going with?
John, in the immortal words of Palpatine, I'm going to tell you, do it.
Oh, saying go for it.
Do it. We're gonna go ahead and I'm not the biggest fan of these guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and take Mike Bennett and Matt Tate right now. Yeah,
the Kingdom, the OGK.
You do. Yeah, we need some names, and their names. People
need some big people to draw in your squad.
I mean, we have a lot of fucking names. So they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, someone's got to lose.
Absolutely. So because we've been going with this tag team strategy, and because we want to hook the viewer in for the final round, unlimited all-timers in round 3, ladies and gentlemen. But here's the cachet. You gotta pick at least 2 woman picks. So it could be all-time women. You could be all-time women, but it's unlimited all-timers in round 3. Yes, so we're gonna have the producer put the in chat poll. But Ness, you want to tell everybody what was round 2 looking like?
Right. So since True Hills went first this second round, you guys drafted Samoa Joe, Future Shock, which is Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, Willow Nightingale, EC3, Women of Honor champion Roxy, and Bray Horus and Flamita. Dirt Sheet Radio's draft for the second round, Kevin Steen and El Generico, the Kings of Wrestling, Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli, PCO and Danhausen, Trisha Dora, Tony Deppen, and the OGK, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett.
That was a hard round. Y'all came back harder. Came back harder. I gotta give y'all credit.
We missed Cesaro over here in Ring of Honor. Let's see if we can get him.
He's like, fuck that slave name. We going with Claudio Castagnoli out in these streets. All right.
I figured like there's people in the chat that don't know Claudio Castagnoli is Cesaro before you go vote somewhere. No.
I love it. We got a bunch of comments off that round. People really enjoyed this one. We got Frantic World saying EC3 would be a good pick, and yes, I went with that one. I had to go with that one for sure. We got Marjo saying Kenny by God Omega after the pick of our immaculate roster. We got a suggestion here from Frantic World. Now we can pick her with the rules in round 3, Kelly Klein, because she's currently not a part of the Ring of Honor roster, but we can pick her in the all-timer round. Nick Jackson says still a lot of all-timers for the last rounds. He's like Motor City Machine Guns, Rodriguez Strong, American Wolves, the Hardys, AJ Styles, Nakamura. I don't think Nakamura did 5 events though, so he wouldn't be a part of this right here. Frantic World saying Deonna Purrazzo was in ROH. That's a great one there. We got Nick Jackson saying too bad y'all didn't get the Kings of Wrestling. Yeah, man. That was the one I was most upset about from y'all. Like, we picked Samoa Joe, y'all picking, the Kevin Steen and El Generico. That's one thing. But when we thought we had the trump card with the Future Shock pick, y'all came at us with Kings of Wrestling. So that was a good one. I had to give it to y'all. Marjo saying, my name is Claudio. Your name is Cesaro. My name is Claudio. And I hate fake fighting saying, imagine having. Oh, okay, so you want my finishing move, sir. You want the band hammer. So band hammer. So you're gone. You're blocked. So bye. See ya. So I love hitting the band hammer, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know.
I seen the name. I only just seen the name and was like, why the fuck are you even here?
Yeah. Why are you here? So get the fuck out of here. So now you're not here. So we got the news rundown. Before we get to round 3, news rundown, of course, we got to talk about WWE news. Charlotte Flair saga. According to Fightful Select, members of the roster did not believe that Charlotte Flair did, in fact, accidentally drop the title, as she claimed last week during the title exchange. Some members of the roster also disputed the report that Flair had campaigned to lose the Raw Women's title to Bianca Belair on Raw in order to put her over, though it is acknowledged that she seemed fine with a loss. Flair has reportedly been outspoken about the company's creative plans. It was also noted that several people backstage had already been of the belief that the segment would go wrong before it happened. Multiple people said that both Flair and Lynch were in a lose-lose situation. Flair had gone over the original plans for the segment with Lynch, Sonya Deville, and the writers. Wrestling Observer Radio notes that there was a lot of heat on Flair over the segment. As had been noted, the confrontation happened as Flair came into the backstage area after the show, and Lynch came at her, and they had a heated exchange, but no physical interaction. PW Insider reports that the altercation happened in gorilla position in full view of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, and while the Lynch confrontation with Flair... Lynch wasn't the only person upset with Flair, as two other sources said that Sonya Deville, who was also a part of the segment, was mad enough to want to fight Flair, a former MMA fighter. I wouldn't do that, Charlotte. The general blame is on Flair by some backstage who think she's been self-indulgent and interested in protecting herself and putting the attention on her. It's believed that the situation began when Flair thought the segment made her and her title reign look weak. This isn't the first time her behavior has led to issues. As you remember, she had the shoot fight with Nia Jax a couple of months ago. And let's be honest, one source said that's what stars do. They make sure their star power remains the same or greater than everyone else around them. Another noted that the attitude against Flair has been building recently. As noted, Flair was escorted from the building following the altercation with Lynch by WWE officials. Some said this was a sign of disrespect due to her family's history with the company and her importance to SmackDown going forward. One talent that didn't see the altercation thought that WWE did the right thing, as it was just a way to calm things down. Meanwhile, Charlotte Flair wasn't backstage at AEW Dynamite in Orlando on Saturday night last week, as some suspected her to be, to visit Andrade El Idolo. Lynch and Flair will likely not be interacting with one another until the company's tour of the UK and until the build-up for Survivor Series begins. And Fightful Select Sean Rossap noted that Flair would be doing media for WWE, but that was reportedly pulled at the last minute. And the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that the heat against Flair had been growing among many of the women's wrestlers in the company, and it's mostly a case of a bunch of little things piling up. The belief is that Flair wants to be a heel and is portrayed that way, but she is still allowed to do babyface moves during matches like dives or moonsaults, and the complaint is that it's hard to get over as a babyface against Charlotte that way. And many believe that Rhea Ripley should have been elevated as Raw Women's Champion and not cooled down in the women's tag division as she currently is. While there is some who think Flair should have put Ripley over, that is mostly on Vince McMahon and not a Charlotte Flair call. What do you guys think about all this heat on Charlotte Flair? And do you think that it's valid, or are you more in Charlotte's corner? I'll go to you first, John.
I said it on Dirty Radio, actually. I said, like, I feel like there's a lot of slant, like, in what's coming out and what was coming out originally about Charlotte afterwards. And it was so much that it made me, like, suspicious. Like, normally it's not that slanted. Like, well, the entire locker room thinks Charlotte is a bitch now. Like, okay, that's strange. You know, like, that's a weird way to report something. It's like usually you find out what happened in the back, but I just felt like there's probably some truth to people, the way people feel about Charlotte, but I don't think Charlotte is like some evil woman. Like, I'm sure there's stuff that came out when Andrade first left the WWE about women taking pictures of Charlotte naked in the locker room and passing them around or whatever. And then you had WWE like putting her on the shelf, claiming she was pregnant, putting that out, letting that leak out when it wasn't true. It's like there's a lot of bad stuff happening on the other side too. So I feel like she probably has a reason to feel the way she does.
It's not just a one-way street. I definitely agree with you there. What about you, Nick? And we should also note, Wrestling Observer has reported that Charlotte does have a long time on her WWE deal, more than a year, and it was noted that the said contract guarantees are in the 7-figure range annually, so she most likely won't be released. So what do you think could be like the solution between Charlotte and the WWE, Nick?
I mean, personally speaking, it's no secret that Charlotte herself is quite unhappy with a lot of things that have been going on. You know, there's always that backstage drama element. There's always that political element that is true with any top star. And I think one of the biggest things, too, is, I mean, when you look at how she's probably feeling with everything that's been going on lately, like with all the Dark Side of the Ring controversy with her father and then all the stuff with Andrade. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things on her mind that's stressing her out completely. So I think the biggest thing right now with Charlotte is she needs to just kind of chill, because you've got all this stuff going on with the segment with Becky, and then you've got like the past stuff, like the incident with Nia Jax. So I'm not surprised that she's acting out the way she is, but I think there needs to be another level of like professionalism that she needs to really apply more. But again, I can't fault her for acting the way that she is because again, there is a lot of stuff beyond her control that is just she's a victim of circumstance. Basically, is the best way I could say for it.
It's a good way to put it for sure. What do you think, Krssi? Do you think that that Charlotte is? We got a comment here from Alan Weinstein that says he thinks that Charlotte is trying to force her way out of WWE to go to AEW. Do you think that there's any truth behind that?
I mean, I don't think it is any truth, to be honest. I mean, but we don't know what we don't know. I mean, they have been good to her. She's been pushed very well. So, I mean, I would hate that she's acting out and, trying to get, she's like probably like a child. Like, you got to act out to get your way, I guess. Who knows what she's trying to do. But it would suck, for the fact that if she is doing that because they've put you on this pedestal for so long and now you want to act out and be like this mean girl or whatever. Like, it doesn't look good on you. So like no one wants that. Like, I guess people are saying no one wants to even work with her, which is like crazy to me. But I think it's still some type of heat that they're just trying to like build up for Survivor Series against her and Lynch or whatever, because they still have unfinished stuff to do themselves, which goes all the way back. So if you want to do a good story, I guess we have to like build it up some kind of way and have like these rumors come out. But I said it when I was on with Alex yesterday. Let's just make it work, make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's build the story, let's build it up properly. And if she is doing this, I mean, okay, you guys created this monster then. Like, you kept putting her over. So it's nobody's fault but Bruce and Vince. And I'm not surprised when I hear you say their names are in it. You guys, you created this shit because you guys are making these stories. You're putting her over all the time. So you guys did this. So
relied too heavily on her for too long, and that's how it works. What we should talk about someone else who's had their issues with WWE management. Bray Wyatt has officially become a free agent after completing his non-compete clause. He changed his Twitter to @Wyndham6, changing the Bray Wyatt WWE Twitter account. On Thursday, a picture leaked that he was at Warner Brothers. It seemed like Warner Brothers Studio, drawing a connection to Warner Media. While it can't be confirmed or denied conversations with Warner or AEW, Fightful Select reported that Bray Wyatt has been in Los Angeles and fielding inquiries regarding Hollywood projects. And he was also seen taking in a Clippers game at Staples Center, and he's not playing for the Clippers. Fightful Select reported that. That was a great report by Sean. WWE sources indicated that to Fightful that this is far from the first interest in Wyatt from Hollywood, noting that there was a pitch made that would have had him involved participating in a movie dating back to when he was with WWE. And speaking of WWE releases, they released another talent this week, but it's not who you think. It's Greg Hamilton, the WWE ring announcer. PW Insider reports that WWE released Hamilton, and Hamilton signed with WWE back in 2015, began in NXT and Tough Enough, and Hamilton reportedly took issue with Westside Gunn using a sample of his voice and said on Instagram that WWE would sue Gunn on his behalf, and then Hamilton has removed WWE from his Twitter account and made it private, and then he released a statement saying that it was a mutual thing between him and WWE. Being a music connoisseur that you are, Ness, what did you think about Hamilton coming at Westside Gunn?
It was just mad random because one, that song is like from years ago, like either like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even a year ago. I don't even honestly. Hamilton has a stake in his claim. Like, he has a right to feel that way.
Yeah.
If I don't know the relationship, because I know that there is some type of relationship somehow between Westside Gunn and WWE. He's always at the shows. I believe what's the guy's name that does the pay-per-view pre-shows? Rosenberg.
Yes.
I think that he somehow had a play into having Westside be able to have all these WWE or old school wrestlers skits on his albums and things like that. But if somebody of Greg Hamilton who doesn't know any of that side of the business, that's none of his business, is WWE's. So again, like I don't blame him for feeling away, but the way that he went about it was totally unprofessional. One, two, it seemed like you were trying to bully someone and extort them because that wasn't the first post he made. Like he made another one saying, "Oh, as if I don't hear from you, it's going from $20,000 to $30,000." And I'm like, "Yo, like who the fuck are you? You're just an announcer. Like you're not anybody that big. Like, you literally they can get rid of you and bring in somebody else to say, oh, this person's coming out to the ring." Just like that, like you're really not that important. So, and that's not even the first time that I've heard of this guy having an issue. He had an issue with Leo Rush not too long ago as well. So it's like you're just problematic in bringing more negative attention to the company that's already has all types of issues that's going on with their talent and people outside of the company, within the company. So I think it was on like the best interest of WWE to let him go. Then, it's like the whole like, oh, she didn't break up with me. We decided to see other people thing where, oh, this is mutual. No, it wasn't mutual. They did the sob story with his family, like, oh, my mom's sick, stuff like that. Like, I'm not downplaying on that because that can be that very true, and I hope that is taken care of. But don't start trying to say all this stuff now after the fact when you were just talking all this shit to somebody that is a fan of the place where you're employed, and like I don't get this. I don't get his thought process behind all that. Like it was really unnecessary, unprofessional.
It was a strange play, and this is when keeping it real goes wrong, it seems like. During a Body Slam report has shed some light on why CWC hates MSK. There was a report that said the NXT fan community booing the team MSK was incited by a negative tweet by Nash Carter posted in 2018 where he criticized a spot involving Bayley superfan Izzy receiving a chokeslam at an indie event. Izzy's parents are allegedly holding a grudge against Carter due to his past comments and reportedly convinced a group of vocal NXT fans to boo the team whenever they appear. The Body Slam source claimed, go back and watch NXT before TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Their posse is on hard camera every show. After TakeOver, a decision was made to move them off the hard camera side because of booing of MSK, but by then the crowd had been ingrained to boo them because it was cool. Body Slam Net's report also noted that the parents, along with the contingent of fans they invited to join them in a negative reaction for MSK, were later asked by NXT officials to move away from the hard camera side of the venue when they were seen visibly booing MSK. What do you think about this fucking seems like the parents of pageant girls or something type of shit going on with Izzy's parents?
Yeah, that's a really weird shit. I always, I wonder if she even likes wrestling anymore. Like she grew out of that shit 2 years ago, and her parents are forcing her to go to these shows. And smile for the camera,
And now she's working with WoW, and she's friends with Tessa Blanchard. So,
the same people that wanted her to train with fucking Chase, whatever his name is, the sexual offender.
Chase, yeah.
It's I will cut a whole promo on these weirdos. I can't right now. We don't have the time for me to say all the things I can say about what we're hearing right now. Like that's disgusting. That gives you an insight to what kind of people they are, and maybe even what kind of parents they are. So like, take that as what you will.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. Other WWE notes, very quick. Walter is going to be a part of their UK tour next week, and he's got a huge match with Cesaro on the UK tour, which should be amazing.
On Paramount. I mean, I'm not Paramount. I don't know what's that. What's their network?
The Cock.
Peacock. Yeah,
the Cock. Yes, over on the Cock. WWE also announced their entire pay-per-view schedule for 2022. A bunch of Saturday shows, as well as they're having a show Labor Day weekend, though, which is the same weekend as All Out, and that should be their UK show.
They so fucking petty. Damn.
And SummerSlam is going to be in July instead of August on Saturday, July 30th, in Nashville at the Nissan Stadium. But very interesting. Yeah, very interesting stuff there. And then the final WWE note: Impact Wrestling's PD Williams was reportedly given a producer tryout at SmackDown this week, as well as Jimmy Wang Yang is currently working as a producer for WWE. Speaking of AEW and WWE and All Out Weekend, according to Dave Meltzer, WWE is currently planning to hold a major 2022 pay-per-view event in the United Kingdom. While the plans are indefinite, it's supposed to be the stadium in Cardiff or Wembley Stadium in London to host the show, which is not SummerSlam, and it will be All Out Weekend. And WWE is waiting for All Out to make their plan so they can choose which date they want to go on. John, do you believe that WWE is going to pick the same date as All Out?
I feel like there's only two ways it can go, right? They're either waiting to not be on the same day, or they're waiting to be on the same fucking day. But really, it's still across the ocean, so like they won't be playing head to head. But I can guarantee you that Peacock is going to have a live stream of that show that's going to play at the same time as All Out, one way or the other. Whether it's live, whether it's a replay, if they can find some way for Fox to play a highlight version of it for 2 hours, there's going to be a version of that show that plays against All Out for sure.
Wouldn't be surprised at all. What about you, Nick? What do you think?
We have all known for a long time how petty WWE can be, and they're going to for sure try and put something head to head with it. Even if it's not the pay-per-view itself, they're going to do something live streamed.
Absolutely, yeah. It should be a very interesting Labor Day weekend for sure. Impact Wrestling News, Ringside News reported last week that the working relationship between AEW and Impact was rumored to be over after Bound for Glory. Let's see, John's happy about that. It would certainly seem that way after Christian Cage lost the Impact World title. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the news is at least somewhat true, as Cage will not be coming back for a rematch with Alexander, and no one in AEW will be facing Moose for the title anytime soon. Tony Khan has yet to comment on if the Good Brothers will be back in AEW. However, one source at Impact says that the door is still open for future collaborations. They said, and I quote, "It's getting talked about like that, but not quite accurate. Cage dropping the title at Bound for Glory was the end of the story that started last December. That was the plan since the spring, and door is open to do more, but nothing planned for short term." Ness, you watch Impact every week. Do you think it was a success, AEW working with Impact Wrestling?
I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. They had their highest pay-per-view buy rates with Kenny Omega as their champion. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, they had some low episodes, but like they brought in the money that they needed to bring in. Now, I wish I would have seen more people go through the Forbidden Door, or even the ladies. You know, I know there was a report that Britt Baker and Deonna Purrazzo wanted to work together. I still hope that can happen at some point. But yeah, I thought personally that it did what it was supposed to do. It got the eyes on Impact, more eyes on Impact than it has in over the past couple of years, because a lot of people, just like we talked about earlier, Impact's dead. We don't have to worry about Impact, things like that. But Kenny Omega and AEW, even Tony Khan doing his the paid ads, that was great too. So like they were definitely putting the eyes on Impact, and a lot of people say that it was one-sided. I think it was a great relationship for the both of them.
Absolutely. New Japan Pro Wrestling News, in an interesting decision, Kazuchika Okada has asked and received the former IWGP Heavyweight Championship as his right to challenge trophy. Brought it during the Road to Power Struggle shows to let John and Nick know, if they don't know already. We got copyright strikes from New Japan Pro Wrestling, so now we use stick figures for all their talent. So that is stick figure Kazuchika Okada right there.
No, the other one is the better one.
Which one? Tanahashi?
Yep.
It's also been announced that Okada will be appearing in the U.S. for the first time in 2 years at their upcoming New Japan show in San Jose on November 30th. That's also going to have Buddy Matthews. They also drew one of their biggest rates basically for New Japan World in January 2021, as reported by WrestleNomics. And in other wrestling news, MLW released some talent this week. They released Mance Warner, who had asked for his release all the way back in like the early part of this year, as well as Jordan Oliver after some disagreements with the company. But both guys have been killing it in GCW, so they should be fine. And speaking of Mance Warner, him and Matthew Justice of the Second Gear Crew lost the GCW World Tag Team titles to the Briscoes at last week's War Ready, and it was the Briscoes' 21st Tag Team Championship win of their careers, and that's why we got them as the anchor of our tag team division in the fantasy wrestling draft. But let's do round 2, fellas. We are at round 3, excuse me, the third and final round. All timers are available. You can the only caveat is that you have to pick 2 women all timers or current roster. Romeo, who did the chat say won round 2?
It was a tie, 50% each.
Oh,
you can't even be mad at that. That second round was probably the best round of the draft so far.
You see the True Hill Heat picks. The True Hill Heat picks right there for round 2. The Dirt Sheet Radio picks for round 2 right there. What a round for you guys. So we concede to you. You got the first pick in the third and final round. All our timers, 2 women have to be picked on each squad. What do you got, guys?
So we're gonna go. Do we have to do the women first, or how are we doing this?
No, you can pick them whenever you want.
Okay.
It has to be 2 in there, though.
It has to be 2 in there. All right. So, okay, cool. We got our picks. We have them. We have a nice list. It's just strategizing how to put them out there, right?
Yeah, the right layout.
You go ahead and drop that first pick.
You support my choice, Jay?
It's a big name, and we got a lot of big names, but why not add another one? We on our Tony Khan right now.
Exactly. We're going best Khanism. We gotta make sure that we are building dream match after dream match. We want some quality stuff week in, week out, and that is why our first pick in this round is going to be Will Ospreay.
Oh, not mad at all.
World-class performer to go with the other world-class acts that we have here in our Ring of Honor roster.
Oh, man, that's
beautiful. He's fucking beautiful. Look at this guy.
Looks better than usual.
Lovely. Our stick figure Will right there for us, ladies and gentlemen. So I see your pick there, and I'm gonna go with
what do you have?
I'm gonna go with a variation of that.
Okay.
What do you think?
Hey, let's do it. 2 for 1, friend.
We are going with the Bullet Club's Cody Rhodes and Hangman Page.
Oh, nice. That's a nice one. I like that one. Yeah, Hangman was going to come on earlier on as an all-timer, but we decided not to. But we
had to get some beef on there.
Got to get the beef going. So who do you guys got with your second pick in round 3?
We like we said, we're all about the dream matches here. We want to keep on going. We're really on our Tony Khan. And when they said our wallet was opened up to all the ROH all-timers, we figured let's get some more casual mainstream stars on here too. So you go ahead, Nick, and you drop this one.
All right, like you guys said, we gotta get a 2 for 1. So our 2 for 1 pick is gonna be the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, we want to bring on Matt and Jeff because we can use them as a tag team to do those final matches, and then they can have the final single runs.
You gotta get the money. Gotta get the money right there. That's smart. That's smart thinking. That's smart thinking. So they didn't pick who I thought they would pick. So
yeah.
What do you think, Krssi? Do you think that's the pick to go with?
I would think so. Yeah.
So you said mainstream. You said mainstream guys. So we got to go with former WWE champion, former IWGP heavyweight champion, former Impact World champion, AJ Styles.
That's a good pick. I thought you would pair him up with someone, but that's great. That's great.
I was thinking about it, but then I thought he really didn't team with any of those guys in ROH. We gotta be fair.
ROH World Tag Team Champion.
I know.
Yeah, that pick is cemented. That pick is done. But you go ahead.
Go ahead. I ain't mad at you. That's a good point. I ain't going front. Go ahead. It's all y'all.
Yeah, we still got a lot of bangers on us. I'm glad.
There's like a lot of good choices.
Two out of your four has to be women.
Yeah. It's 4, right? It's still 4. We're
gonna go 4 more picks.
We're gonna go ahead, and these final 2 picks are gonna be women. So we have bangers for the women too. Look,
okay.
Which way do you think we should go? We can go star power, or we can go technical wrestling. I guess.
I say in-ring quality is the way to go for a Ring of Honor draft.
You want to go in-ring quality?
That's what I'm thinking.
Our roster is all about in-ring quality and dream matches. We're gonna bring on the women, who's probably responsible for WWE's Women's Revolution. And I'm not talking about Stephanie McMahon. Okay, I'm talking about Sarah Del Rey, the Queen of Wrestling. Okay.
So you matching her up with the Kings of Wrestling. That's a smart move.
King, we can have her as a champion. She's gonna work with our younger women. It's gonna be great.
Smart move. I can't front. You got 3 more picks, 1 more woman to pick out of those 3. So we got 4 more picks, Miss Krssi Luv. And I'm thinking that we go with this one, or what are you thinking? There's a bunch of all-timers that we can go with here. But I think that's the way to go.
That's the issue. There's so many to choose from.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you think, Krssi?
Go ahead and do that one.
We are gonna go with a former ROH world champion, along with a former legend of ROH. We are going with former ROH world tag team champions, the Age of the Fall, Jimmy Jacobs and Tyler Black.
Nice. That was definitely on our list. Yeah.
I was actually waiting for these guys to get drafted pretty much like the whole show. So.
I had a weird relationship with Tyler Black. Like, the only time I ever liked Seth Rollins was like when he was on the Shield, and then that little bit of heel turn that he had with Triple H or whatever, and then it kind of got messed up with the injury. So like.
To be fair, my group of people that I went to Ring of Honor shows with, none of them like Tyler Black. Like, I was the only one that was like, yo, this guy's gonna be in WWE. He has the look. He's gonna get there. And then I felt,
yes, you're right. Take him now. It was for real. Like, it sounds funny, but like when Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson left Ring of Honor, people were not here for Tyler Black. He fucking hated him, and I was one of those people. So I was like, you know what? He'll sit in there, but I'm not drafting him first.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all, because we actually met, me and my friends, actually Jimmy Macaram and Marcus Cash were 2 of them. We went to an ROH show, then we went to BBQ's on 42nd Street in New York, and we walked out and we saw Jerry Lynn, Bryan Danielson, Tyler Black, and Jimmy Jacobs, and we made Tyler Black take the picture of us with Bryan Danielson and Jerry Lynn.
That's so disrespectful, guys. That's very disrespectful. How dare you do that?
I'm just saying, like John said, he wasn't the most popular guy. Even though I saw something in him, he wasn't the guy I wanted to take a picture with. I wanted to take a picture with the dragon. But it is on you guys. You're one of your 3 final picks here. Who do you got?
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go with another woman, because we really want to bolster our women's roster. Like we said, we're all about them dream matches. So we're gonna go ahead and go with Mickie James.
Hardcore Country.
Hardcore Country.
She got an early start in Ring of Honor, and she was one of the regulars there for a little while. She was definitely our. We got both our women, so we're very happy with.
Very well done. Very well done.
Good quality wrestlers too.
So we got to pick a woman here. So you think that's a good one, Krssi? Go ahead.
That's one to go.
Take it away.
We're gonna pick it. We're gonna pick her, former champ now, but we're gonna go Deonna Purrazzo.
Absolutely. One of the best women's wrestlers in the world today. We are going with Deonna Purrazzo.
Nice.
No, there's no other way. We can't just leave her. I think that would be asinine. We would lose. I'm sorry.
Can't leave her on the
Funny
board.
that
No.
they just picked Mickey. You guys picked Deanna. Like they're just, like literally on the heels of a feud.
Interlocked right there.
All right, so we are on our last two picks, right?
Yes, last two picks.
Right now, we're going to go ahead and go with the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, because we love our damn tag team division here. We got the it's
get those dream matches. Get that
I'm
beef.
mad at you.
It's going to get crazy in this Ring of Honor. We have the world's greatest tag team with the Bucks, with everybody else we tag.
Steen and Generico.
Steen and Generico, the kings of wrestling. It's gonna be crazy in here.
I ain't mad. Yo, I love y'all tag team division. Y'all tag team division is stacked. I don't know if it's as stacked as ours, but we will see with the final few picks here. We going with the ones I said, Krssi. So go with our second woman. Go ahead, Krssi. Take it away.
We might as well put her in. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Absolutely. She went from the number 1 overall pick to one of the final picks.
Was she a doctor in ROH?
No.
She was Britt Baker though. Yeah,
she's Britt Baker.
Yeah, I seen her.
She's Doctor now. She's still Doctor.
Regular Britt Baker.
Just regular Britt.
Just regular old Brit. So Dirt Sheet Radio, your final pick.
Paying off college loan. Britt Baker.
Yeah, I mean, when I seen it was like 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, probably.
We wanted our final pick to really leave an impact, and I didn't mean that as a pun at all. That's disgusting.
Honestly.
But, WWE style, right? The end of the show, we wanted to blow them away. So we're gonna go with former Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion, but we're gonna draft him by himself, Shingo Takagi. Yeah.
Ooh.
That went a total different way than I thought it was going to.
I'm
a huge
stick figure Shingo out in these streets. Stick figure Shingo.
Yeah, no, our roster is fucking stacked. Our roster
top to bottom.
Yeah.
Put that together on a graphic, because that's nuts.
Yes, our producer is probably working on that in the background now. So are we going with the final pick that I had here, Krssi?
Yes, sir.
So I will do this last one here. We are going with former Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, each of them Ring of Honor World Champions, the first ever Triple Crown winner in here as well, former Impact Tag Team Champions, a former Impact World Champion, former Impact X Division Champion. They would have won the NXT titles, but they blew it on their tryout. We are going with the American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards.
Nice. Yeah, they were definitely on our list. We just chose Shingo instead.
He was like, we can't get 2 with this, but let's just go with Shingo. Let's do Shingo.
We're 3 picks. We think that Shingo is the fucking best wrestler on the planet today. I needed that man on my roster.
He was like, let's go with Shingo and Ospreay and just continue to do that over and over again.
When Davey decides to go be an ambulance on y'all asses, you'll regret this. Or not an ambulance, the EMT or whatever.
He said an ambulance, not even an EMT. He's gonna be the physical car that drives bodies. He's gonna be an ambulance. He's gonna be an ambulance on us. But yes, Ness, you want to say the round 3? How did that go? Dirt Sheet Radio and True Hill Heat.
Right. So for Dirt Sheet Radio's final drafting round, their picks are Will Ospreay, the Hardys, Sarah Del Rey, Mickie James, World's Greatest Tag Team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, and Shingo Takagi. As far as round 3 for True Hill Heat, Cody Rhodes and Hangman of the Bullet Club, AJ Styles, Tyler Black and Jimmy Jacobs of Age of the Fall, Deonna Purrazzo, Britt Baker, the American Wolves, Davey Richards, and Eddie Edwards.
So you guys get to decide. We have now finished all
draft.
3 rounds. All the draft is done. So now it is up to our on-screen judge, who has kept it down the middle, as well as you guys in the chat. I see a whole bunch of comments here. Nick Jackson putting out names all over the place, saying Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Saying Sienna is still there. We also got Frantic World saying, don't forget Mercedes Martinez and Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa is a big one. They got left
You actually know,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that neither you guys picked no Nigel McGuinness.
He was on
We
there.
had
on our radar.
We got all competitive too, because in the beginning I was like, I'm just gonna draft all my favorites, but then they were like, oh, we're gonna. I was like, fuck, they can't take all the people we need. So we were just like,
That's how it happens. Yeah.
we were making sure that free agentship is there. We'll get him.
Exactly. Got the free agent period, the
supplemental picks,
supplemental draft. ALW saying, I really like the promotions working together. Talk about AEW and Impact, but they should have done more. I came back to Impact because of the AEW relationship and True Hill Heat Blunt Impact. So look at that. Thank you, sir.
Nice,
We appreciate
nice.
that. We also got Nick Jackson saying, good picks, guys, but for Age of the Fall, I would have done Tyler Black and Brody Lee. That's a good shout. I don't think they were in Age of the Fall at the same time, though. I have to go back and research that. And yes, he's also saying, I can't believe Nigel went undrafted. And then Frantic World says round 3 was really good. But it is now up to you guys. Who wins this fantasy wrestling draft? I think both squads are immaculate on both ends. We're gonna get a rundown of both cards, of both rosters. I think we're gonna have the graphic from our producer. But Ness, do you have all of the rounds? Can you run down the rosters for Dirt Sheet Radio and then True Hill Heat?
Yep. For Dirt Sheet Radio, we have Bryan Danielson, the Young Bucks, Jonathan Gresham, Roosh, Bandito, Shane Taylor, Kevin Steen and El Generico, the Kings of Wrestling, Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli, PCO and Danhausen, Trisha Dora, Tony Deppen, the OGK, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, Will Ospreay, the Hardys, Sarah Del Rey, Mickey James, World's Greatest Tag Team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, Shingo Takagi. For True Hill Heat, we have CM Punk, Kenny Omega, the Briscoes, Dragon Lee and Kenny King, Jay Lethal and Tracy Williams, Brody King and Homicide, Samoa Joe, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, Future Shock, Willow Nightingale, EC3, Roxy, Ray Horace and Flamita, Cody Rhodes and Hangman Page, AJ Styles, Tyler Black and Jimmy Jacobs, Deonna Purrazzo, Britt Baker, and the American Wolves. Yeah, that's from both teams. Yeah, from both teams. That's
quality.
Romeo, any comments from behind the scenes?
I'm not gonna have enough time to make a graphic of that third round, but I did have enough time to make this.
That's so Romeo.
That is so perfect. Fuck off, Nigel McGuinness, till us all for not picking him. Yes, the in-chat poll, you guys are going to decide who wins the draft. We're just going to run down the card very quickly here for Power Struggle, get predictions for the top matches. At the bottom of the card, you got the Young Lions, Owa and Fujita versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Dookie. You got Tiger Mask, Toge Makabe, and Honma versus Jado, Gato, and Tongaloa. You also got Master Wato and Taguchi, and Nagata versus Hiromu Takahashi, Bushi, and Sanada of LIJ. Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles, Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi versus the House of Torture, Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, and Sho. You got the King of Pro Wrestling 2021 championship matchup, Toriano versus Great Okan. You got the IWGP IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match, Robbie Eagles versus El Desperado. And then our first one we're going to predict here, IWGP US Championship on the line. Hiroshi Tanahashi will defend against Kenta. This one was set up on the G1 the Climax 31 final show. So who do you think wins here? We'll start with Nick. Kenta versus Tanahashi.
It's just like this draft. There's good options here and there, and I gotta go with my John Cena pick. I'm always going Tanahashi.
Tanahashi wins. LOL. John, who you got?
I think at this point in their back and forth, when it comes to the U.S. title, it's probably time for Kenta to get that win over Tanahashi. Tanahashi's had a pretty good streak here anyway. It's been long enough. It's not like he's one of the main featured guys. He's old as fuck. He just looks amazing because he's like a god. But he's still got a human body. So like Kenta's a bit younger and he's still got some bumps left on his card. So probably gonna go Kenta here.
Krssi Luv, who you got? Tanahashi or Kenta?
Tanahashi.
And Ness, who you got?
I'm going Kenta. I think he could do something with the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, and I'm gonna agree with John. It might be time for Kenta to finally win the match. He lost against Jon Moxley. He had that briefcase for months, and he was basically the champion with 6 defenses of the briefcase. So it makes sense for him to get the win here. G1 briefcase match, but for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, since Okada's got the title now, he's gonna be versing Tama Tonga, who pulled up the upset win against Okada in the G1 Climax 31. The only man to defeat Okada during the G1 this year. Who you got in this one, Ness?
Oh, come on. LOL. Okada wins.
Krssi?
Same.
LOL. Okada wins. John? John?
No, shit.
Yeah.
No, this is very easy. It's Kazuchika Okada. But I should say, when you see it on paper, like Tama Tonga versus Okada sounds like, oh, what the hell? But they had a pretty good match in the G1, and it surprised a lot of people. So I think this being one of Tama's first like big main event shots and a show that's not a G1 show, and I don't really count that stuff against Kenny Omega or whatever. Right? So it's gonna be great to at least watch him overperform.
I agree, but I also say Okada wins. LOL. Yeah. Nick, you too?
I'm going Okada, yeah.
Unanimous for Okada. And then in the main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the Mr. Irrelevant of Dirt Sheet Radio, Shingo Takagi, will defend against Zack Sabre Jr. Sabre Jr. defeated Shingo in the G1 this year to earn this opportunity. Who you got in this one, Nick?
I'm going to go with Shingo just because there's a reason we drafted it.
Going with the pick. Smart move. John, who you got?
It's the same reason, but also because he's not going to lose right now. Like, he's on a roll. Shingo is the guy for New Japan today. I guess until they get to Wrestle Kingdom and decide what else they're going to do. But
yeah, hopefully that means Ospreay and the rest of the guys will be back by then. Krssi, who you got, Shingo or ZSJ?
Shingo.
And Ness?
Yeah, I gotta make it unanimous. You know how I feel about Shingo.
That is fair. You are biased. You're biased here. You're not biased as a judge, but you're biased here. Yes, I'm gonna agree with you guys. Unanimous for Shingo Takagi at Power Struggle 2021. That's gonna be next Saturday morning, November 6th on New Japan World. So that should be a very good show with some really good matches on that card. And now it is time. We're gonna give you guys in the live chat a little bit more time to figure out who you think win between the two teams. And Nick Jackson already showing love, saying this might be my favorite draft yet. Also, he picks Kenta to get the victory against Tanahashi. Frantic World also says Kenta needs a big win. You, my boy, Blue Heel Heat says Kenta needs something. Yes, I agree there. And Nick Jackson says Okada wins. Alan says Tanahashi will probably win, but Kenta should. So yeah, a couple of really good picks in the live chat by you guys. We always appreciate it. You got a little bit more time to vote who won between Dirt Sheet Radio and True Hill Heat. But Ness, it is on you. Who roster do you pick to win the fantasy wrestling draft?
I'm going to be completely honest. This literally came down to the last round for me. I'm going to go with because this is you can't go wrong with either draft with either team. Like there's so many legendary people on both teams, and it's just amazing. With that being said, I'm calling it down the middle. Definitely calling it down the middle, but I'm giving it to True Hill Heat. And I'll say this, that last round, the third round, is what did it for me. You guys drafted AJ Styles, Tyler Black, Deonna Purrazzo. Again, not being biased, but those are some legendary people. Deonna Purrazzo, not so much, but her work recently has been amazing. I know, like I'll say outside of WWE, as far as like women's wrestling, or even outside of AEW, you know, like just what she's done in Impact has really made an impact for that promotion, as far as women's wrestling. So I had to go with those guys. But again, both teams. This is my favorite draft so far, even the one that I lost. You know? This is a lot of fun. I'm very appreciative to be a part of this.
Oh yes. Thank you, but Ness is an unbiased, but we always accuse people of bias on here because we're true heels. But yes, as you see, that is our third round that we put together. Great work by our producer, the Age of the Fall, Britt Baker, AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, and Hangman Page, Deonna Purrazzo, and the American Wolves. He will probably put up Dirt Sheet Radio as well because he is a talented producer. And look at that, you got Stick Figure Shingo, Stick Figure Osprey. You got the world's greatest tag team, the Broken Hardys. You got Sarah Del Rey and Mickey James. What a whole ensemble cast from both teams. We got a super chat donation here from you, my boy Blue Heel Heat, for the ROH fund. We appreciate you, good brother. Thank you as always. So now it is time for the in-chat poll to see who officially won, because Ness, we appreciate the love. He was here to call it right down the middle, but he's more of a referee. You guys are the final say on who wins the fantasy wrestling draft. So Romeo, give us the results.
Krssi, I need a drum roll.
Ready?
93% True Heel Heat.
We did it. We finally took a W. It took us a while. We needed ROH to go out of business. for us to win.
Can I confess something?
How good?
Can I confess something?
Yes.
It was actually 100, but I went and voted for Dirt Sheet Radio. I didn't want them to have 0. So they have 7.
You see, Romeo calls it right down the middle, not like our other producer. He's a little biased, to be fair. But Dirt Sheet Radio, you guys put together a great roster, but most of all, you guys have put together a great podcast over there. You're doing great work. Please let the people know where they can listen to Dirt Sheet Radio, listen to you guys, because you guys showed your knowledge on this episode here with the draft, with everything we talked about. Like I said before, John, you're one of the people that I go to for your opinions on wrestling, and I'm going to go to Nick as well because Nick is very knowledgeable himself, and he looks like Tony Schiavone. So
ready. I'm going to do it. Are you ready?
Yeah. It's Sting!
There it is.
But yes, let the people know where they can find you guys on social media as well as Dirt Sheet Radio, fellas.
Find Dirt Sheet Radio on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Just search for Dirt Sheet Radio. You can Google Dirt Sheet Radio and just find the podcast. It's very simple. Or you can go anywhere anywhere you get your podcast. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Podcasts. It's out there. It's very easy to find. It's very freaking good.
I agree. It's very freaking good. And Nick, where can they find you specifically on social media, good sir?
Well, like most good men that keep kayfabe, I will be found at Tony Schiavone at Twitter. No, I mean, really, you could find me. The best way to find me is just on Dirt Sheet Radio. I'm always on the Facebook page. I'm getting around now on the other aspects of social media, and there's rumors that I might be working on the website.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a big one. We haven't even said that anywhere else. That's big. DirtSheetRadio.com. It's coming. Yeah.
This is where you come for the scoops. True Hill Heat gets the scoop from Dirt Sheet Radio. I will be visiting there. If you need, journalists or writers, I'm available, guys. I'm a freelancer. So just let me know. Let me know for sure.
Partnerships in the wrestling world right here.
Yes. The wrestling world is full of partnerships. Dirt Sheet Radio and True Hill Heat is going to be another one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But go out of your way, 100%. Follow Dirt Sheet Radio on Facebook. Always breaking great news over there, as well as on Twitter. They got their hot opinions for you Impact fans, especially. I saw the last one.
I saw. I'm not gonna say who it is that tweets for Dirt Sheet Radio, but I saw they were a little spicy this afternoon or yesterday afternoon. Got a lot of people mad.
I saw that. The Impact community came for y'all.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff, man. Get on there. Shit on the admin if you want. It's fun stuff.
It's okay. We always do anyways.
It's an even exchange for sure. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this edition of True Hill Heat 149. Miss Krssi Luv, please let the people know where they can find you and your episode of Wrestling Daily from yesterday as well.
Yes. So you guys can find me every week with my good brothers SP and Top Guy JJ every Saturday for True Hill Heat. Other than that, we don't have no more Dark Side, friend.
Leave the memories alone. We'll wait for season 4.
You can go on YouTube and watch them over. They're there with me and SP and I. We've did our review for Dark Side of the Ring. We did the last episode, which was the steroid trial, which was really good. So go check that out. You can catch an episode of Wrestling Daily with my boo Alex McCarthy. I was on his show yesterday for their Black History Month over there in the UK, which was really, really fun. So check that out as well. Other than that, you can follow me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook. It's Krssi Luv 1 or Krssi Luv _ or just plain Crystal Lynch.
Absolutely. And Ness, thank you for calling it right down the middle as our referee. Please let them know where they can find you on social media and the True Hill Heat YouTube channel.
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at skinny__Kravitz. Right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Fusion of Honor with the Stat King. Blunt Impact Joints and Jabronis with Chris G. NX3, myself, Chris G, Romeo Anthony Colon.
There you go. He's doing work. He used to be the 6th man, and now he's on here almost every day. And you can find me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. I won't be on AE Recap, AE Ramble for tomorrow, but we will be dropping with Jimmy Macaram and Marcus Cash reviewing AEW Dynamite, AEW Rampage. That will be dropping tomorrow or sometime this week. I don't know when I'm not there. But you can also find me next week on True Rewind with Romeo and Drunk Guy JJ going back in time to the Monday Night Wars. And of course, right back here next Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, True Hill Heat 150, the big 150, with our special guest, BodySlam.net's own Cassidy Haynes. So also become a member of the Patreon account, $3 backers or more for exclusive content, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. True Hill Heat 149, the post show will be up later today, as well as exclusive content like our review of the G1 Climax, NBA preview, and much, much more. And follow us, the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. So for our boys over at Dirt Sheet Radio, Nick and John, thank you so much for joining us. For Miss Krssi Luv, for Ness, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been True Hill Heat 149, Honorable Death. We are signing off until next time.